Please take the time to visit podsurvey.com/peasants to complete a short 21-question survey. Participants in the survey will be entered into a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. The survey can be taken multiple times, so feel free to visit back each month for your chance to enter the drawing. Please help to support the show by using our Amazon links located in the description anytime you purchase anything from Amazon. It's a great way to support the show while just going about your normal business shopping on Amazon.com. Also, check out our storefront for Drunken Peasants recommended merchandise. Patreon pledges of $5 or more will now receive 2 private shows each month. In addition to the private shows, Patreon pledges of $10 or more will receive the Drunken Peasants post show after each episode of the Drunken Peasants, Ben and Billy's monthly shitty movie review, and regular behind-the-scenes vlogs with Ben and Billy. Sign up anytime to catch the future shows as well as past content. If you want to catch the post shows but you're not a patron, click the join link below this video to become a member of the Drunken Peasants channel. In addition to each post show, you'll also get special badges and emojis that you can use in the Drunken Peasants live chat. Streamlabs will be open for the duration of each episode. Click the link below to send us a message. Donations $20 and above will be read out through text-to-speech and will require our immediate attention. All donations below $20 will be read at the end of each segment. Keep an eye out for our weekly Streamlabs goal, which if we meet, we will do an extra show the following week. If you find any content you'd like to see us cover on the show, send it to drunkenpeasantsinbox@gmail.com. All submissions will be reviewed for possible usage in a future episode. Click the Discord link in our description to join the Drunken Peasants Discord. Interact with other Drunken Peasants fans in text and voice chat, as well as the peasants themselves. Visit the Google Play Store and download the Drunken Peasants app to catch the audio version of the show while you're on the road. In addition to the app, the audio-only version of the show is also available through iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, SoundCloud, and other audio platforms. That's all we have for now. Enjoy the show.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on you, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken
Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 509. And today we are joined by the guys from the Non Sequitur show. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
What's going on?
Hey, thanks for having us.
509. That's
huge. Yeah.
Halfway to 1,000. Ben said at 1,000 that we're going to do an actual bare knuckle brawl and just beat the trash out of each other.
Oh, sweet. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Steve, we should do that.
You should see what we did last night. Without giving away too much, I made a compilation of the Patreon private show, a short compilation video of some of the stuff that happened last night on our Patreon private show. And by the way, guys, it's still available on Patreon if any of you want to go view it. Here's a little bit just to show you guys what it was like.
Teaser?
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. 5, 4. He's wearing
3,
an electroshock dog
2,
collar. 1. All right, put it down. Put it down. You ready?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That hurt. Oh, God, no.
It went up every round. Oh,
Hell,
Promise. Shock
my
you.
hands are sweating.
you had it right on the
one.
Adam's apple, too. Is that like...
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bang.
All right, I'm ready.
It sucked so bad. 3, 2, 1, go.
What a
Feels so much
shocking
better watching you do that
situation.
than feeling me do it. Zap for Ben Fry from Queen Tide Pod. How can she zap?
How could she zap? How could she zap?
How can she zap? Baby, it's cold outside.
Damn.
Yeah, that was
Never mind,
beautiful.
Steve. We should do that.
No, thank you. No, I feel bad laughing at people's misery, watching them get hurt. But that's entertaining.
Like the shock was bad, but I swear the anticipation
Yeah,
up to the
that's
shock
yeah.
was like after I got shocked to crap at the very end, but afterwards I felt so good because I knew I didn't have to get shocked anymore. I was like, this is like a relief.
Yeah, I
What
wanted
was the
to.
reason that you were doing that? You guys were doing that.
We were playing video games against each other, and at the end of each round, whoever lost got zapped. And each time you lost, it went up 10%. And then at the end, if you lost, if it wasn't a tie, if someone had a losing score, they got zapped the amount of times the other person won, like for the amount of seconds.
Yeah, so if it was like if somebody won 10 out of 10, then it's 10 seconds pure zapping.
Yeah.
And,
That's savage.
And
Yeah.
it's the same. They were dog collars, so you could set them up from 1 to 100.
yeah.
The other night I had mine on, and yeah, I mean it's like a bad like static shock, basically, is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
So
Damn.
I'd say it's better. It's more than a static shock. It's like it's a like a Pikachu.
the
trying to
way
hump
you
your
test
face.
it is you can hold on. I don't know which one is which here.
You create a current.
So here it is right here. Yeah. Let me see. This might be for yours.
I don't know. I got one over here too, so we'll just hit it at the same time.
Well,
You have matching dog collars.
yeah. You have that one.
We had to match.
So like
Is it lighting up?
no.
Come on, you little. We got to charge these things.
No, here. Give it to me.
All right,
Give it
here you
to
go,
me.
Dad.
All right.
How high do they go? 1 to 100? You said.
Yeah, 1 to
Yeah.
100. Actually, 0 to 100. But so like I have it on 15 right now, and it makes the light bulb light. See,
Oh, nice.
that's on
How high did you
15.
get yesterday? What'd you go up to?
I think we got up to 60.
Damn.
Yeah, 60 sucks, but you know what? 1 sucks.
Yeah.
I don't see how
1
people
is
put that
pretty
on their
bad.
dogs. It's like I would
had
feel bad for my pup.
I had a traumatic when I was younger. My grandpa had horses, and I was on the back of a horse and got kicked off into the electric fence. And ever since then, I've just been like that's the last thing I would ever do is a shock collar.
Yeah.
You know, just
I imagine this is not nearly as bad as getting kicked off of a horse into an electric fence, though.
it was bad. It was bad.
Damn.
But yeah, that's savage, man. Savage.
We used to like pee on electric fences, and then like they'd be off, but then we'd wait till one kid peed on it and then turn it on so he gets a little pecker zapped.
That's terrible.
Yeah, no, we were
Fuck
bad.
you.
We were on a farm. There's not much else to do on a farm.
You lived on a farm?
No, I visited some friends on a
Oh.
farm. And like then we go out like hunting through the farm for like little mice and stuff. We found a dead mouse, and this guy like took
Did
a
you
hatchet.
put it in the freezer and put it up your butt?
He took a hatchet to the
Oh.
mice's balls. I was like, "Why are you cutting his balls open?" He was like, "I don't know." I'm like, "This is weird." So I ran away and I ran through the pig field, and the pig field was like 3 feet deep of shit, and I lost my shoe in a field of pig shit. This is why I don't go outside anymore. The farm sucks.
Oh, and another thing, if you guys want to see the Patreon show, another highlight of it is when me and Billy were playing Wii boxing, and there's a camera of me and him just standing there swinging at the air. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
I-
it's pretty great.
I think that I was at a direct disadvantage.
Because you suck.
No, because you
That's why.
rope-a-doped me.
I rope
You
a
let me
dope
swing
you.
on you, hella. You were like blocking the whole time, and I'm like swinging.
Well, I mean, watch any good boxer, and yeah, he'll be blocking because that's what you do to not get punched in the face.
because I knocked you down like 2 times in a row, and you got up no problem. I think there was some cheat codes there.
No, it's basically the way the game works is it has to do with combinations. The more punches you land in a row, the more their health goes down and the less of a chance there is of them getting up.
I'm glad you knew that going into the game.
I mean, you were trying to land punches, right?
I was socking the shit out of you.
You knocked me down a few times.
I thought about just punching you in the back of the head for real one time.
I felt like you were going to
I
by
know.
accident because you kept stepping forward.
I could have. I was like right in the zone too. I could have got you right in the back of the head.
So many excuses.
You guys have a lot of violence and pent-up frustration, don't you?
Yeah.
Not me.
Well, I do.
I think Kyle I should try this, but we should use cattle prods. Take it to the next level.
No,
Yeah.
fuck that. Let's do. I would much rather do mouse traps or something like that than anything.
No,
that
I don't
would
mind being
electrocute
shocked.
people.
I used to work with electronics, and so I've been shocked many times. High
fuck
voltage,
that.
low current. It doesn't really bother me that much.
You would
It's
win.
the anticipation that's worse.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch when it comes to that. I will totally default.
We did. I did a shot. I had a double shot glass. I did a shot of this hot sauce. It was 750,000 Scoville unit hot sauce, and it did burn my mouth. But I had a cup of coffee cream that I drank after it, and that helped. But in my stomach, it felt like a balloon full of flammable gas that was about to explode. That's what it felt
Yeah.
like. It was terrible.
I could do that, Steve. I could much.
No, hell
I
no.
would much
I-
rather do the hot sauce than.
I have an ulcer. That would be the most excruciating
Oh,
thing imaginable.
God.
I've tried. I ate 2 habaneros one day, and the porcelain on the toilet still has indentations in my fingers. I'm never going to ever do that again. I thought I had to go to the hospital. It was so miserable. And anybody who's ever had any kind of hernia or ulcer or anything like that, if you eat hot food that much, it's excruciatingly painful.
Yeah,
Never
That
Well,
sounds terrible.
There you go.
That's funny.
never
Maybe
again.
you can do a pick your poison. You can get zapped to shit and then have hot sauce too, and you guys can just choose which one to do.
I think I like the setup that we have now, Steve, where we don't have either.
injure each other?
Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense too, I guess.
I guess.
Ben and I just started doing dumb shit, and then now we can't stop because we keep thinking of more dumb shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
wait, we should do this.
I've
with
been
each other.
balls to do that. I'm just a bitch when it comes to that. Like especially on camera. Like seeing me get zapped on camera, where there's a record of that. No,
Wouldn't bother me.
Before you know
Well,
it,
it
we'll,
wouldn't bother me seeing you be zapped on camera, but
I bet not.
no, it wouldn't bother me.
before you
I don't
know it,
mind
we'll,
electricity.
before you know it,
Current.
we'll have the police attack dog in here. We'll be wearing those like big fluffy suits.
Oh man, don't even put that in my head. I
a
think
good
I know
idea,
some
actually.
canine unit
That's a
cops
really
that
good idea.
might come in. I might have a guy. Oh man.
There you go, Ben.
Fuck. I was trying to. I thought that was funny and out of the question, but I guess not. Anyway, on to troll or not a troll.
For the next episode of Bark
So
Bigger Than
this
Your
is
Bite.
this is either a troll or this is some guy's Jersey Shore audition tape.
Oh, sweet.
MTV, what's up, baby? It's your boy Cologito. Before I start this interview, I want you guys to sit down, relax, and meet your new star because things are about to change right now. So let's go. I'm a 24-year-old Sicilian-speaking maniac from Brooklyn, New York. Now I live on Staten Island. By day, I manage my family's restaurant, and by night, I'm a heartbreaker. When it comes to my
I'm a
personality, basically, I'm a
heartbreaker.
Oh, I hope he's a troll. I hope this is a troll.
There's no way he's a troll.
That is no way a troll. That is how they talk. That is how they
No,
dress.
he's
That
got to
is
be.
them.
He's got to be a troll.
Oh, he's
legit.
for real.
party, ain't no doubt about
It's
it.
too
MTV.
stereotypical. Way
If
too
you want to see
stereotypical.
the
That's right,
true
legit.
definition of a Staten Island Guido, you're looking at him right now. Good things about my personality, basically, I'm the life of the party. I'm a clown, I make anyone laugh at any time, and I'm down for anything, always. The better part to my personality is
He's got that 1990s Dream Team jersey on, which is like the greatest basketball team to ever be assembled in the history of the world.
I don't know. We don't have documentation of the Aztec teams.
Basketball didn't exist then.
They created basketball.
Well, it was a
Jim
different
Tanner
sport
laundry.
that was
Or
similar.
was it the Mayans? I don't know.
I think it was the Mayans.
I can't remember. I just remember they were in Where's Waldo.
It's not the same though. Anyway, I'm
where's
sorry. What
Waldo?
were you saying?
I was just saying, if he says Jim Tanner laundry, it's over.
That's the vernacular they utilize.
That's all we need. That's all we need. That's the last bit missing thing.
That doesn't make it
It's way too
troll though. He
stereotypical.
could just be in his head that's the way to be. They're all copycats, right? They're all carbon copies of
Yeah,
each other. That's
exactly.
not troll. That's just how they think. They're like, wait, that guy's so tan, he's so cut, his laundry's so fresh. I want to be him, and they become him. Their hair gets so spiky that it spikes into their brain, and they get waterhead.
It's a stereotype because that's how they are in New Jersey. I know a lot of people that actually are from New Jersey. They
Yeah.
are like this in many ways. I mean, even down to the cross, right?
Yeah.
The necklace and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, either he's got it perfectly spot on, or he's not a troll.
Please fist bump.
He's got to do something. He's gonna fist bump. Like that's just how they operate. I'm waiting for him to do something that goes outside of that zone to let me know it's a troll.
Basically nothing, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't got no bad parts of my personality. But I guarantee you, all the Italian princesses down the shore on Staten Island with their little spray tans will disagree with you, because I probably broke their heart one time or the other. Sorry, ladies, that's not my fault. I'm a charmer. What can I do? Got that Sicilian smile, you know what I mean? Nice olive skin. What are you gonna do? And to all my fellas out there who are probably hating on me.
Is that olive? It looks like lobster skin.
Yeah, that's those pink sausages that come in a can.
I feel like this guy got boiled.
It's not my fault they spit a silly game. My message to you is keep your girl close, because once you turn around, your girlfriend's coming home with the boy. Meatballs in your mouth, I don't change for no one. So get off my jock and learn to put a silly game.
I just got an alert from YouTube that the female demographics of our channel are now at 99%. Just by playing this guy.
Holy shit, this guy can't be a troll.
He brought them all in.
He's too effective.
Got it going on, man. He's got
Did he say
game.
meatballs in your mouth?
Yeah, he did.
Meatballs in
say
your
that.
mouth.
Oh man, another report coming in. Worldwide floods of vaginal fluid
Oh my
flooding
gosh.
the earth because of this
Dig it,
guy.
man.
This cannot be a troll. He's flooding the earth. This is what the Noah's Ark.
If you ain't doing it, you better watch out for Colodro coming through in the club. So, besides my personality, I come from a very tight-knit, close family.
That's
'cause
actually
you
how
still live in your mom's house based on the fucking kitchen behind you. There's no way this is a young gentleman's kitchen.
That's actually how Noah's flood started. Just a really attractive Guido made all the women on Earth just, uncontrollably horny for him.
And the women back then were really horny. Like
Yeah.
the Bible said, "Fuck your dad."
That actually
and
makes
stuff.
more sense than the story that you read in the Bible.
Yeah, that's a mom's kitchen. Look at the curtains.
That's how they created the Grand Canyon. There was so much pressure,
What is this for? What is he doing this for?
Audition for
For
Jersey Shore.
Shore, that's what it says.
Okay, definitely
Yeah.
a troll.
You really think he's a
dude.
troll?
No, I'm going with
That
not
is a troll, dude.
How is that a troll? This is literally everything that every fucking knucklehead in Jersey does to get on that show. And they all want to be on that show because that's the one thing they're good at, is being fucking laundromat rats.
They're going to be in a stereotype. Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for this guy.
Oh my god, no way. He's living his best life. His only other option, because in Jersey, you can't. Your only other option is to become a gas attendant, because everybody has to have their gas pumped for them. So that's his only other option.
Is he getting you excited? Because he's working for me a little bit. I'm getting a little excited here just listening to him. So I'm sure that the women out there must be going nuts right now.
I'm
Absolutely.
I'm 100% straight.
I was until I watched this guy.
True. Okay,
Wow.
my butthole just
Wow,
got
Steve.
super moist.
Wow.
Fugazi. Yeah. Should we even watch any more of it, or should we call it right now? Because
It's up to you.
I'm waiting for him to drop something trolly here. This is just the way people act in fucking the shore, in the Jersey Shore. So I'm saying it's not a troll.
I've got to go with troll.
I got to go with not a troll.
What do you say, Benjamin? No, you think it's a troll? You little.
Too good.
Okay. I've literally seen 1,000 guys just like that make the same audition tape in their mom's fucking kitchen. There's no originality there. I cannot see it being a troll. If you would have been like, yeah, I want to get on the show so I can lick the situation's abs because he's got the best abs. I want to suck his man titties. That would have been a troll.
So you said not a troll.
Not a troll.
Steve said not a troll.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you said troll.
Yeah, I think it's a troll.
Trollish there. I mean, it was so perfect. Either he was like the definitive actor that he could actually convince people that he, is this Guido type dude, or he's just that type. And I'm going with that, just that type. Nobody's that good of an actor, I don't think.
The guy said meatballs in your mouth.
That's what they thought.
That's exactly
that.
They all say that. They all say that.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
The show exists because there's an entire subculture of kids like that. They're mafia kids, right? Because they were able to talk shit and live the life, and if they weren't, they were able to idolize those that did, because those were the young kids, the Gotti boys. They all came from the Gotti boys, because the Gotti boys could get away with anything because their dad was in fucking jail or dead or whatever, and their mom was screwing around. I don't want to talk shit about the Gotti boys right now. Actually, I take it back. I take it back. You guys are fucking ace, man. I'm gonna spike my hair right now. Let me join the team.
Oh man, that's awesome. Meatballs in your mouth.
I don't think it was a troll.
I think troll.
Okay.
So we only got one Streamlabs during that segment. It's hypothesis, $5. There's only one word for this fugazi, and I'm gonna spell it out for y'all. SAWFT, swaft.
Soft, Benjamin.
Soft.
Benjamin. Are you trolling? Troll. Troll. Troll.
Swap it.
Swaffet. Swift.
That's some Enzo shit, isn't it?
Yes, that's Enzo Amore.
Oh, God.
Who is not a troll. That guy is exactly
I like how he
that.
spells his name differently now and gets to keep calling himself Enzo.
Does he?
Yeah.
Not Amore, though, right?
No.
Just Enzo.
Yeah.
Is it N/ZO?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh, and by the way, we want to remind everyone that tonight's show was made possible by our generous viewers. Last week, they met the goal, and now we're doing a bonus stream right now.
Goal!
And actually, the goal's already been met. You can see up above for next Saturday. So
we'll be back again.
Another bonus show next Saturday.
Back again.
Also, another thing to keep in mind, Patreon. We're looking to keep that above 4,500, which it is now. We need it above 4,500 each month to continue to do 2 private shows a month, and we're going to try new things. Like we'll do one private show that's the normal format like this, and then we'll do another one each month where we try something new, like we did last night.
And for those not in the know, this New Year's Eve, no matter what time zone you're in, you can hang out with us and celebrate the New Year. Pretty much whatever time zone. If you're somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, eat shit. But we're going to be doing the countdown 24-hour show New Year's Eve. So,
well, some people in the Pacific Ocean. Well, I mean, if we're starting at noon on New Year's Eve, then we're going to miss some people like in Eastern Asia.
Whatever.
I just wanted to say you're amazing boys.
Thank you. Wow. Clit Toy R Us.
Clitoy
R Us is their name.
I like that name. I can't pronounce it.
Tucker White 94 also gave us 420 and said, "Money, take it." Thank you.
Money. Thank you. But yeah, 24-hour show should be nuts. You can't celebrate New Year's in your time zone everywhere, but most of y'all can.
Yeah,
and those that can't, eat
mean, if we literally would have started. If we literally would have started at midnight on New Year's Eve, then we could have done it everywhere.
I don't want to do that, though. Do you want to do that?
No.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. We're just going to be doing a 24-hour show on New Year's Eve, so it's stupid.
Starting at noon Pacific time, New Year's Eve.
I had to cancel a very private party for New Year's Eve where I was guaranteed to get free chocolate and butt massages.
You can't eat chocolate. It's not keto
chocolate.
Oh.
It was made with
You're making this up.
Yeah, of course.
That's how I know. That's how I know he's making it up. Who's making keto chocolate for a party?
They do make it.
Well, it's probably made, but who's hosting a party and making keto chocolate? Nobody.
My keto damsel in distress, keto mistress.
Okay, keto
she's
mistress.
Dom, my keto dom.
Keto
that's what I'm.
mistress.
She's a keto dominatrix. No sugar, just sour.
Huh.
I was on there for the butt massages. That sounds great for New Year's.
I like how Ben called me out on the chocolate, not the butt massage.
Yeah, right.
Dude,
I probably think Billy's getting a butt massage.
Chocolate, not so much.
I'll easily believe he's getting into some kind of butt massage shit.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound too out there.
Yeah. But chocolate.
There's places in this city where
Got
some
my check
wacky shit goes
yesterday for
down.
previous work
Oh!
weekend. I ended up with the
A
most
ton of
miles
it!
I've ever had. So why not share the load? Cummies.
Cummies. Thank you, Tomovich. Oh my gosh.
Driving that big rig.
Wow.
Big rig. Convoy. Convoy. Thank
Well, you know, it's probably about 2,400 miles from New York to Seattle, so
Yeah, if you get a
that
run
should
out
be your
here,
next goal. Man, and then you'd have to drive back. Holy fuck.
I'll drive back with you. We'll go on the road. Big Bear.
All right, we're going to move on to action news. If you guys send in any more Streamlabs, we will read them at the end of that segment.
Ciao. Doggy style.
So, first thing we have here in the title down below, federal judge strikes down Obamacare. Aren't they kind of late to this one? I mean,
A little bit.
yeah.
That's just weird.
Yeah, you know, you'd think that if there was some sort of federal issue with it, it would have happened right after it got put into law.
Is this like the top of the top tier here, this federal judge? Or
This is a very short video, too. It's like 50 seconds long.
great.
Let's see.
Well, this is a Fox News alert, and certainly surprising. A federal judge in Texas has just struck down
there you go.
Obamacare. True story. Judge Reed O'Connor says the individual mandate, the part of the law that requires you to participate, is unconstitutional, and because it cannot be separated from the rest of the law, which it cannot be, the entire law is invalid. Now, the individual mandate, you'll remember, was previously upheld by the Supreme Court, but on the ground...
And previously thought of in Massachusetts during the Romney administration.
Well, he just said it right there. It was held up by the Supreme Court. I mean,
yeah.
they've already decided on it.
Yeah.
This is like 9 years late.
I will say the mandate was one of the worst parts about it, in my opinion. I don't know.
Hillary must not have killed anybody today or trafficked any children.
Forcing people to buy private insurance from the crooked ass insurance companies doesn't seem like much of a reform to me. I realize it did. It got rid of the pre-existing conditions thing. That's good, and it did allow certain people with certain conditions to be able to afford health insurance. But obviously, it's not even what Obama had promised when he was running for president.
He tried.
No, he didn't.
He tried.
What?
They fought him every step of the way.
Oh my
even
God!
after it
You
got through.
Obama apologist. He had the House and the Senate.
Yeah, but he was busy celebrating his win.
Yeah, too busy.
He was trying to save the banks for themselves at that point.
He tried. That is such bullshit. He did not try.
Obama's a sweet boy.
Nope. As soon as he got elected, he even changed his verbiage. He changed it from health care reform to health insurance reform.
Well, I'd say
Shortly
that
after.
Obamacare was a little more than that fucking broken ass wall Trump's trying to build.
I'd agree there.
Yeah, I think Obama did try. I think, I would agree with Fridge again. That look, they did try to go after him, in every step of the way. Now, I think that we should go to a single payer system. Luckily, I have the VA, and yes, the VA has problems, but it's still it's socialized. But you know what? It's better than nothing. So on a single payer system, even though your quality may not be as good, you at least you have something. And I don't know why we just don't go to that kind of system.
It's interesting.
Well, they did the mandate because that's the only way that they can pay for everything else. If people aren't paying into the system, then there's no way that they can float that. So that was just a means of making sure it was funded.
It's interesting how there are people in America that are so quick to label anything socialist as basically communist, like Mao Stalin-esque type communism, when they're also pro-military, which is such a huge social program taken on by the federal government.
Oh, sure. And I'm not against social programs. We have to have social
Right.
programs. Roads are subsidized socially. VA social, military social. It's not the same thing as when we're talking about communism or socialism and that nature. So, yeah, I think that people that when they try to equate socialized programs, they do so disingenuously.
Yeah. They don't even mention the military. I mean, it's not like our government hires private. I mean, they do, but. You like the government, you know how they were hiring like Blackwater and private military contractors in their eyes, because of the way they feel about any type of social program, the military should just be 100% like, private military contractors, like mercenaries, basically. I mean, they wouldn't say that because they're pro-military, but they're against any other type of social program like that.
How long did Obama have the Democratic supermajority for?
I think 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
New president. He's not going to push stuff like that through in 2 years, or he's going to be a 4-year president. That's politics, man. He had to play the game so he could do the most good over an 8-year period.
He cared more about being president longer than taking a risk.
You can do more in 8 years than you can in 4 years. You lose it in 4 years, they get out.
I think Obama proved that's not true. Ooh. I think Obama just proved your statement wrong.
Ooh, cold.
Look at you.
Cold.
Look at you throwing big words around.
Huh?
Like proved in statement.
Yeah, I mean,
look, man, Obama worked hard for his money.
Said it was a tax.
Trump is.
I'd rather listen to.
Right now.
I'd rather listen to Tucker than you right now.
Not following the mandate was eliminated last year, so O'Connor says this makes that ruling invalid because it's no longer a tax. The ruling is certain to be appealed, obviously. Obamacare, by the way, was passed on March 21st, 2010. It was signed 3 days later. Wow. Didn't see that coming.
Why does Tucker always look like he's confused?
Yeah, I just hate Tucker Carlson.
Wow,
He always looks like he's lost in
I didn't
something.
see that coming.
He looks like he's mildly irritated all the time.
He probably is.
He's got like a scowl.
He probably has like He probably has like an 86 IQ and a 94 IQ job, so he's always slightly under par, like trying to catch up with everything.
I just don't trust anybody that mostly wears bow ties for some reason.
He gave that up.
I think that he had to give it up because nobody trusts him.
Yeah, when he went prime time and he became like the head talking head at Fox, he started. He stopped wearing the bow tie.
They're like, all right, take off this bow tie, or we're going to send you to work at TGI Fridays.
Well, I take that back. There's one person who can pull off the bow tie all the time. That's Bill Nye. I think he can do it.
That's because Bill Nye actually proved shit with facts. Facts are outdated now, but at the time they were a big deal. Now he just goes and argues with what the creationist guy, Ken Ham or whatever, John Ham,
Ken Ham,
and promotes this 50-60 gender spectrum thing.
The cool thing about 50 or 60 genders is I no longer ran out of things to fuck. There's always going to be new things to fuck.
It's variety, right?
Yeah. It's like, before it was like, I can have steak or I can have fucking fish. Now I can go to the buffet. And I'm like, I'm fucking a dragon
tonight. 50 more
tonight.
categories of people that turn me down. So, 50 more reasons to be depressed. Thank you.
Anybody who says sex and gender are the same thing, well, I say ladies, I say my queers, I say to that, don't give them any gender.
Oh, that's deep. Don't give them any gender.
Yeah. That's poetic in a way.
Yeah.
I say uno gender.
Uno gender?
Yeah.
Is that where you just...
If there's only one gender, prove me wrong.
One gender.
Prove me wrong.
Uno gender.
It's like,
huh.
Scientifically, I think fat people become their own gender because they become like androgynous blobs at a certain point. You can't tell. Like, people think I'm a woman and a man at the same time. Yeah. So I think even from a scientific purpose, if you want to go about things like that, my dick turns into a little clit when it
there's actually
fat fupa.
There's actually an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where they run into an alien race of genderless people, and then one of them decides that they want to have a gender and falls in love with Commander Riker, and then they give her a lobotomy. And she becomes genderless again.
And then she falls in love with JF.
Something that's basically like the equivalent of a lobotomy type thing where, such a crazy episode. Yeah. What is next?
The Barbie doll planet. We all have no genitalia.
Just flat.
I could get down with a Barbie doll though. Like if there was a life-size Barbie doll woman and she had nothing down there, I would find a way. I'm
I don't
inventive.
question that either.
Here's
I'd just headbutt her crotch if I had to.
Here's an NBC News video. These Democrats are the top 2020 contenders.
Finally.
Let's see.
Finally.
Let's see.
692 days from now, the 2020 presidential election. That seems like an eternity from now. But by the way, it's just over a year from now that the voting is going to begin in the Democratic primaries. And that means it's like right about now is when these candidates, these potential candidates, have to start making up their minds. So take a look at this. This right now, call this the long list. These are the Democrats who, I don't know, maybe, possibly, there's some reason to think these Democrats might end.
John Kerry? No way.
What is this super
There's
PAC?
only one on there that could possibly do it. I think.
What is this super PAC Brothers Ultimate?
I see Sherrod Brown. He's on the top row, second on the right, and
Cory Booker.
Yeah, he's next to Cory Booker. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people don't think of Sherrod Brown, but he could win Ohio, and Republicans never won without Ohio. If someone could snatch Ohio away from Trump, it'd be a lot harder just by the math for Trump to win.
You think he could go on a vice presidential ticket and get it if they put him on as vice president? If he's not
it
strong
could
enough?
help, but it wouldn't be as much as if they gave it to him. It's very rare that someone doesn't carry their home state, too.
I think Joe Biden is the only one up there that could definitely beat Trump. I think
I would say definitely. I think he's too old. Like he's what? Is he older than Trump?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in his like mid 70s,
And this
maybe
is 4
late
years
70s.
after Trump ran, and Trump was the oldest president to get into office.
I can't believe John Kerry's even on there.
Yeah, I think that's a joke.
That's crazy. And I believe they said that I read something last week where Bernie had decided that he was going to actually run again.
Really? I heard recently that Bernie said that he wasn't going to run, but he was going to back some people that he saw that if they ran, he would back them and give them his guidance and his word or his support. So I don't know, man.
I'm a little surprised that this is Democrats, because if I hadn't known some of these people, then I would have respected this to be more Republican. I mean, there's just no diversification in there whatsoever.
Up running for president in 2020.
Okay.
There's 33 here in total. We don't think they're all going to run. In fact, a couple of them, in fairness, have now actually taken their names
If I was an
out of the
aide
mix. Deval
at
Patrick,
NBC
the
News,
former
I would
governor of
slip Glenn
Massachusetts,
Jacobs
he
in
says
there.
He's out. He's not running. How about this space?
Is that
Michael
the former
Avenett?
not district attorney, but Attorney General? What's his name? Eric Holder?
I don't know.
The fourth one from the third row?
I'm not. Oh yeah, I think so.
He floated with it. He got in trouble a couple weeks ago.
I think Neil deGrasse
Tyson's
Tyson's in
not
there.
running now. Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, he says he's got his hands full in New York. He's not running. So already that long list of 33. Now it's down to a much
Bloomberg,
more
though.
30. This one
Bloomberg's
looks
interesting.
like a free.
Bloomberg's got money too to run.
For a lot of people, and that's why so many.
Would he
are
want to
kinda
butt
dipping
heads
a
with
toe
Trump,
in the
though?
water.
Yes.
We do have, by the
I
way.
think he would,
Now
yeah.
that this invisible
Absolutely.
primary process is starting, you're starting to get polls.
I think they have before too.
But on that level, though, with all their shit out there?
Left of center group, massive membership. They took a straw poll of their members, and they basically said, "Hey, who do you want? Who do you want as a Bdemocratic candidate in 2020?"
Look at Beto's
interesting
numbers.
results here. First of all, almost a third, 29%.
Wow.
Said someone else.
Wow.
I don't know.
I think that's
But
the right
there's
answer.
a lot of
Someone
attention
else
here.
is 29%.
First place, it's 15.6%. Beto O'Rourke, congressman from
double the people of your highest contender is someone else.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
great.
No,
Anybody but these people.
Bill Maher.
No, Bill Maher could not win.
You don't think?
No, Bill Maher is a fucking dickhead.
We said
I
that about
enjoy
Trump
him.
too, though.
But maybe Bill Maher could stand toe to toe with Trump on the shit talking platform. That's who I want. I want somebody who can shit talk Trump in the debates. That's why I'm happy for Beto O'Rourke being in the mix. I don't know if he'd win, but I do think he'd talk enough shit. He's like got that youthful like exuberance where he's
Well,
willing to
here's
take
the
shots.
thing. Here's the thing. Once these people, whoever out of this group, decides they're officially running, they're all gonna bash each other during these debates and in the primaries, and then it depends on how much actual damage they do to whoever ends up being the selected one to run against Trump, because that's where most of the damage is going to be done. And then Trump can say, so and so in your own party said this about you. That's the advantage he has. He doesn't have to go through that right now. So
that is true.
I also just want Beto to win so I can make a killing selling Beto Cucks bumper stickers.
I just think it could be a great platform for somebody. I'm someone else. Brilliant.
Yeah. Choose your own president.
Don't you be backsliding. Vote for Joe Biden.
What are Democrats are the worst at messaging. That's their only, their biggest downfall is that they can't get out a message like the other side can. I think there's something about. I mean, I hate saying this, but it's looking like Trump is possibly going to win again, just because.
I'm sure he will.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to have to say no. I'm pretty good at guessing, but I don't think Trump is going to have a second term.
Billy said 100%. Billy said 100% certainty Trump will win.
Really?
I feel like if somebody was there that could beat Trump, they would have already announced by now, or we'd see them doing things in the media right now that will put them in that place. The closest we have to that is Beto had a great showing in Texas against Ted Cruz. That's not enough, I think, to beat Trump unless some magic happens and the right people get behind him. But if the people that will make him win get behind him, then he's nothing new anyways. And can we be excited about that? I'm talking we need like Bernie to get behind somebody to make us excited again, because we were excited for Bernie, and Bernie was old as fuck back then. He's even older now. He can't get in the race himself, in my opinion.
He might be able to run for vice president with somebody. He could do what Biden kind of did for Obama and be the older, more experienced guy.
Yeah.
Vito and Bernie. Bernie.
El Paso, been there a couple terms, lost the Senate race in Texas, obviously got a lot of national attention this year. Look at this.
Would he even be able to win his home state, though, in a general election? Texas? No, I don't think so. I don't think he would.
That would be difficult.
Yes.
All the names.
When's Texas gone blue last time?
Right now,
it's been a long time.
He got the most support.
It hasn't always been red, though. I mean, like LBJ, he was from...
But do you think Texas really likes Trump? You think they probably do? Trump is just so anti-Republican.
Texas, unfortunately.
Of any name that's out there right now. So that's one, obviously, to keep an eye on. Joe Biden, the former vice president, he says he's going to be talking to his family over the holidays. Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren. Interesting, too, Elizabeth Warren. 6% in this straw poll.
And there's Sherrod Brown under Elizabeth Warren.
Lower than you might have expected when you see Sherrod Brown, Klobuchar, Mike Bloomberg, Cory Booker. He's making moves. And again, there are all sorts of other names that may yet emerge. And results like this cumulatively
we blew our
will
load
have
with
an effect.
Obama. Now we don't have anybody to come and take his place. He was our he was the one, the magic candidate. And now to me, you should have somebody at this point that people are leaning towards, and that it's exciting people. And when 30% of your voting base is saying they want someone else who's not, up there, that's a bad indicator of how the election is going to go.
What if that 30% were all people waiting for Hillary to come back and have her second run? And
No.
And they're not represented because we all think Hillary's not a part of the politics.
When I mentioned
she's unelectable.
I think so too.
When I mentioned Sherrod Brown, people were like, "Oh, Ohio's more red than ever." That is true to a degree, but Sherrod Brown is a senator in Ohio. He got elected in red Ohio as a senator. So I think part of the reason why he's 2% on here, he doesn't have the name recognition quite yet. He and he hasn't officially said he was going to run, or like for years he said he had no desire to run at all. It's kind of funny though. Rush Limbaugh thought he was black because of his name and like made a joke about Sherrod Brown being black, but he's a total white guy.
What a joke to make, even if he was black, right?
Yeah, well,
but to also be wrong about it, what a fucking buffoon.
Well, it's such a Rush Limbaugh thing to do, though. I mean, that doesn't surprise me one bit. That's totally something Rush Limbaugh would do.
Rush Limbaugh got a job as like a football commentator, I think on Fox or something, and he got fired because he made a joke about a black quarterback.
I'm gonna make a joke about Rush Limbaugh's name. With a name like Rush, it sounds like he might be a terrible fucking drug addict.
Well, he's deaf now because of it.
Or one hell of a band.
That's not a joke though. That's actual fact.
Yeah, he's a fucking terrible drug addict.
I'm a good drug addict. I do it the right way.
Yeah, you can hear.
Winnowing out that field. Here's what we're looking at.
I put Rush right above Artie Lang on the terrible drug addict list.
Poor Artie. I never thought anybody could have a nose worse than Michael Jackson, but there you go, Artie Lang.
I feel like he needs to get into boxing and face Mike Tyson, so maybe Mike Tyson might bite off some of that extra nose.
Wait, when you get a chance, look up Artie Lang. It's so sad. He's like one of the most talented people out there. I think if Artie Lang would have his life together, he could have done a podcast and really stuck to it, and it would be probably as big as Joe Rogan.
He could, yeah, but he was on Howard Stern at the time when his life really started to fall apart, right?
Well, then he quit. He's been off that show for over 10 years now.
Yeah, but he hasn't been back to reclaim his throne for long enough.
He's tried to come back a few times.
But not for long enough. He's been stumbling.
I think he was doing one with Anthony from Opie and Anthony for a little while there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, this is subject to
Why didn't they
change,
have
but right
Oprah
now...
or The Rock on this poll?
Because The Rock's a Republican.
And Oprah said she won't run, right?
Yeah, she won't run.
February 3rd, 2020.
I really think I should run.
Big contest. The Iowa caucuses, of course, 8 days later, you'd have New Hampshire, Nevada, South Carolina. Those have become sort of the traditional leadoff four.
So, yeah, I mean, we won't really know until people officially throw their hat in. And then there's going to be people that'll come in and we'll be like, who the fuck is this person? There's going to be a few of those, too.
I'm hoping there is one of those that's a surprise and makes me more excited.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the Democratic Party doesn't want to let them back in the debate, they can keep them out. That's the way the Democratic Party can control who wins primaries and who doesn't. You know, like aside from the whole superdelegate shit, which I thought was over, but I guess it's not. I don't know.
Probably rebranded.
Al Franken would have been a really good choice if he hadn't have.
If he hadn't
all that shit hadn't happened with him,
Oh,
he would
yeah.
have been fantastic.
If he hadn't have been a comedian making a joke, yeah, too bad for him, right?
Well, Bill Cosby was also a comedian.
If he would have actually grabbed that girl, then whatever. But he didn't touch her, whatever.
It's her word versus his, right?
Did she say he touched her?
She said that she didn't consent to the groping or whatever, or the photo. I don't know.
The photo wasn't groping. He wasn't actually touching her. He was joking about touching her.
Okay. But there were other women that said that they got a little grope from him too, right?
Yeah, I mean, that happens, right?
I don't know. I've only been groped by men. No politicians.
Well, there's a big difference between an accidental touch and a slow lingering caress.
Seriously, fuck all these dams.
Making sure people are aware of that.
Joe Biden's the king of that,
just
though.
irrelevant.
I mean, have you seen
he's creepy when he touches people.
Dog 2020. Also, my second Streamlabs didn't play.
I'm going to go through all the Streamlabs, so if it
double-check
didn't play, I'll read it at the end of this segment here.
Thank you again, Antonovich. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not looking forward to this election. I really don't see anybody beating Trump. Somebody brought up a super chat earlier saying, "Do you think? I don't think Trump will even run. Is that a possibility where Trump doesn't even
If
run?
he doesn't make it through his first term. I mean, he's got a lot of shit going on. And let's be realistic. I back early on, we had kind of made a bet when or if he was going to get impeached his first term, whether it be the first year, second year, or somewhere in the 4 years. And I went with somewhere more in the 4 years. And it's quite possible. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he, I believe, has committed acts of felony origin. So, you know, if they decide to go after him, especially with this payoff stuff from campaign financing, that's against the law. Now, the thing is it impeachable? That's the question. Or are they going to wait for him to get out to indict?
I don't think that he wanted to win this term. I think that this was something that he did to try to stir up name recognition, you know, and it just so happened that because if you look at the pictures of him from election night, him and Melania both sitting there like, oh, fuck, we just won. Like, there's no smiles or anything like that. And so to me, I think that something will come up where he'll have a reason to get out.
I don't think he wants a second term.
I don't agree.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll stay in as long as he can.
Really? Is that because
yeah.
he's a narcissist, or is that because he wants it?
I think both. There obviously there's parts he wants and parts he doesn't want. And that's true for anybody. And to try and gauge, well, does he want it more than he doesn't want it? I don't know about that personally, but yeah, ego will keep him there. Also, just I mean, he can't get out right now. I mean, technically anyone can, but how often does that really happen? Like, how often do we see resignations for no reason? You know, there usually has to be a real reason.
And if he
that
really,
a president's going to resign,
if he really did do all this criminal shit and is facing some charges, I'd stay in the White House as long as possible. I'd fucking bunker the door down.
Yeah, I mean, how else are you going to pardon shit if you're not the president, right?
Pardon himself.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. He's already talking about he's already asked the question publicly.
Well, I mean,
how can he pardon himself?
Well, look at it this way. I mean, no president's ever tried to pardon themselves, as far as I know. So we don't know if he can or not, but he's got a better chance of pardoning himself than he does if he resigns, right?
Or he could make a deal with Mike Pence, put him as president, resign, and have Mike.
That'll already happen.
How can that just be possible, though? How can you pardon yourself like that? That is. I mean,
even if he can't, even if he doesn't, it's true. If Trump resigns, Mike Pence will become president, so Mike Pence can pardon him.
Scarier,
right?
That's equally scary. I think I'm more comfortable. I think with Trump being president than Mike Pence, because Mike Pence one of those underhanded, like manipulative. Trump will just blatantly do shit in front of your face, so you always know exactly where he's kind of coming from. He just buffoons around and until people kind of corral him to the right place. Mike Pence would be one of those people that would do all kind of backdoor meetings and real shady. He just seems shady to me.
I mean,
I'd rather have.
Trump does that in some cases, though. I mean, like, part of it's persona, but I mean, also he was bribing people. You know, he had his lawyer.
That's business. He's been doing that since the
but he wasn't tweeting. He wasn't tweeting about it.
Trump is not literate in any of these things, and I don't think he actually understood what he's done is against the law. He's so narcissistic that he thinks that whatever he does is just fine, and I'm sure he has people all around him surrounding him going, you're okay, you're doing just fine, and he believes his advisors. The advisors are probably going, this guy's screwed, and they're all turning on him.
I don't think that anybody should be president that still refers to their wife as mother and who can't have.
He does?
Yes.
Don't kink shame him.
He's in what is it? BBMD.
BBMD.
Yeah.
Big boy or baby boy, Mama Dom.
Yeah. Is that what that is?
I don't know. I think that Pence. There's the stories that there's a mole inside the White House and that Pence might be the mole, right? When you look at the video when Trump was talking with Pelosi and who was the other guy? Was it Schumer?
Yeah.
And Pence was in the room and they're all arguing, but Pence was just like super silent the entire time. He was sitting there like he was the guy wearing the wire, trying not to get caught. He wasn't talking up or anything. He's just like, it's almost over. We almost got him.
Don't make eye contact.
So I think that, we're going to see some shit move here if Pence really is the mole and he's got him on some stuff and he takes over the presidency. And then we're going to see Pence really... people say Pence might pardon him. Maybe Pence is part of the reason why Trump won't be able to get pardoned because he's diming in on him. He has some extra stuff.
Beautiful.
He would still pardon him anyway.
But not if it's part of his deal to remain out of any criminal accountability.
I don't think that
Pence wasn't close enough to Trump during the race.
I don't think that could be part of a plea deal because you would take the deal and then you could still just pardon someone anyway, and you've already taken the deal. So they can't use.
Can't they put in the deal that you can't pardon him?
They can't say, "Oh, you can't do this in the future in order to get this plea deal," because once it's ruled on, you already get that's the deal you got. So they can't be like, "In the future, don't do this," and then like, "Oh, well, now your plea deal's invalid." That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Anyway, next story here. Nearly $300,000 missing after armored truck spills money on New Jersey highway.
This is a great story.
$300,000.
Yep.
That's a lot of...
Have you seen the video of the people out there on the highway just getting out of their cars and scooping up the money?
I want to see that
for them.
Yeah.
$293,000 is missing after the door of an armored truck opened up and that money just started raining down on a New Jersey highway. This is the scene yesterday morning on Route 3 in East Rutherford. Police determined that 2 plastic bags containing $500,000 fell out of the truck, then broke open and scattered all over the highway. While some folks grabbed the money and kept it, others actually returned the money. If you happen to scoop up some of the cash, police advise you, please make arrangements to return it.
You know what's funny? In one of the stories that I saw, they the captain or whatever from that city said, if you bring the money back and turn it in, we won't prosecute you.
Whatever, like cash, like nobody, cash isn't traceable, you know. So unless you're on camera picking it up, how the fuck are they going to prove it, right?
Now, what if this was an inside job and the Brinks driver took a like, I don't know, $200,000 out of the bag and then dumped the rest on the road, knowing that some of it would get swooped up and they couldn't account for all of it. They'd account for some of it, but they just got away with $200,000 and they put the rest on the hands of the New Jersey kids.
You should watch him. He's in one of the videos talking on the phone. Like somebody recorded him actually picking up all the cash. You can tell he's not in on it because he's like, "No, man, I'm not getting in trouble for this. That back door fucking up." You can tell he's like sweating life, like heavy.
He's sweating, but somebody else set it up, and they knew that this was his run. They had the truck the run before, and they set the truck up to pop open on his run and put him under. Because I watch a lot of heist movies because I don't have a lot of.
You know what? I was just gonna say this. I was just gonna say Billy's fucking weird conspiracy theories are fueled by the like shitty, like, you know, off-season movies that he watches with his movie pass.
That's not shitty.
Some bad movie that they put out between, like, you know, the Christmas season and like the spring movie season that Billy watches.
Daddy's Home.
Well, I gotta tell you, if I'm
Yeah.
gonna commit a crime, I'm gonna get Billy to sign off of it because his machinations are awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, we're gonna commit something together. No, I don't think this was planned. I mean, this was completely accidental. But aren't they insured? I mean, whatever loss they have, there's got to be some kind of insurance for that, right?
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Yeah. So I mean,
They're
they didn't
trying to get that
lose
money
anything.
back.
Well, I would blame it on the door. I mean, they've got to find some kind of mechanical failure.
It's $300,000 though. You know, they're not gonna go down without trying to figure out where that money. Like they said they were, you know, running people's tags and trying to identify people that were getting out in the street.
They probably are.
It even caused an accident. There was one car, like black car, that was smashed all to hell from, I guess, not paying attention and slammed in the back of everything. So I mean, they're doing a full-fledged investigation in front of it, in the wake of it. But still, that's $300,000. One guy brought a 20 back. The special that I saw, the guy had brought a $20 bill back. All he had gotten was just went out and scooped up a $20 bill. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, he got so much more than that. He's just bringing back a 20 to clear himself and make it look like, you know, he's not taking more than he did.
Maybe he's just an honest engine. Is that racist?
Yeah. Why would you get out though? Why would you get out in the middle of a freeway for $20?
Yeah, it wouldn't be worth it. I mean, these people are probably so savage. You're probably going to get killed just by somebody running you over.
Yeah, maybe he only got $20
money. Yeah,
maybe he couldn't get the rest because everybody else was so much better at grabbing cash than him. Have you ever been in one of those cash rooms?
Like, yeah, with the like,
money
it's like a tornado
around?
type thing.
It's not always so easy to catch.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of ones, and like that one dumb kid that just focused on the 100, got the 100 and walked out. But you're like grabbing around, you have like 7 ones.
But still, like, you would get, if you went through all that trouble and you got the $20 off the ground, like, you would be pissed off and probably go spend that on a couple of beers or something. The last place that you, in my opinion, you'd go is the police station. Like, oh, I did all this work for this $20. Now I have to go turn it in to be a good. I don't know. I don't see it.
I mean, it's New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him. Probably already paid off his gym membership and his tanning bed membership.
Yep.
And his laundry's done. So what else is he going to spend the 20 on?
Cross.
Yeah. Or a new fade.
But that's fun though. I like when money flies out of cars. You remember the stories that would happen where there'd be like a rich man that would just drop like $100 or $100,000 off of like the top of a tower, and people down below would catch it?
No, I've heard when they would, do that with the Salvation Army, and I heard like people just drop like thousands of dollars into one of those buckets. And I've also heard people pay each other's layaways, but no, I've never heard it getting dropped off a building.
I swear there was like a guy that did that.
Maybe.
In the 90s.
I just never heard of it.
That's like sounds like a WKRP in Cincinnati type episode.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, damn.
Maybe that's where I watched
Loni Anderson.
Yeah, it could have been. Oh. Yeah.
Look at his eyes light up.
He knows.
She could get it. She was married to Burt Reynolds, right?
Yeah.
I would bang anybody Burt Reynolds has banged, even if Burt. What? I was gonna say even if Burt Reynolds banged my own mom, but then I was like, I shouldn't say that. I know. I was like, I shouldn't say that. That's sick. I just say that because I know my mom wouldn't do that because she's a sweet mom. She wouldn't.
I hope your mom's not watching.
She
right
probably
now.
is. I'm sorry,
Ronnie
Mom.
is 73, by the way. I just looked her up. Or
Yeah, she's not looking like she did in the mid
No, 73, I
'80s.
guess.
Respect your elders.
You don't care?
Yeah. Give me
It's
Dolly
Loni
Parton.
Anderson. Come on.
Give me Dolly Parton and her
No,
wrinkly old.
I'm not talking about Dolly Parton again. I am not.
I just.
I could go for Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
She looks like a Muppet. Do you
give me
remember
Miss Piggy and Dolly Parton?
Do you remember that show Spitting Image where they did like the political puppets?
I love that
She
show.
looks like the spitting image puppet of herself.
That's hot. I would do her
No.
and the puppet at the same time. 3-way.
I'm gay and I would go for Dolly Parton.
No, please.
Yeah, I'd give her 9 to 5 inches.
Maybe that's why I would go for Dolly Parton, because she's so sparkly and glittery and bedazzled.
She is a drag queen, right?
Yeah, it's just a natural attraction.
We're gross. This was all gross.
What's wrong with geriatric sex? You guys make it sound like it's nasty.
Well, yeah, I'm not. No.
Now.
The gross thing is that
if you notice, I haven't even been talking about her age. I've been talking about the fact that she's like 25% artificial now, for one thing. Anyway.
What about Betty White? What about Betty White?
Betty White.
No.
I would. Everybody's got to be able to do Betty White.
I'm ending this conversation.
You can say yes. I did Betty White.
it depends on whether or not it would put her back out. The actual act. I wouldn't want to hurt her.
Yeah, I think she would. She would give you the time of her life.
Just throw her a Snicker bar, satisfy that hunger. She'd get it.
God,
no, I was only saying it was gross because we were objectifying these sweet old ladies, not because they aren't worth a bang.
Betty White objectifies herself. I mean, she puts it out there.
Oh yeah.
I mean, out there.
Poor Betty White. All she wanted to do was stay relevant for 9 decades, and she did it.
She did do it.
She's outplayed, outlast.
Her and my grandmother are the same age.
Really?
Yeah.
That's old grandmama.
Yeah.
That brings it into perspective, for sure.
Well, glad that Jersey threw all that money on the ground so we could have this conversation.
How do we get here?
How do we get here?
We were talking about Loni Anderson.
WKRP
one
in
geriatric
Cincinnati.
thing to another.
Yeah. But I was speaking of Loni Anderson from WKRP when I was like a little kid. I was like,
in the 80s.
Even as a little kid, I was like, wow, Loni Anderson, super hot in the 80s.
I'm having a moment just thinking about it. Good times.
Oh, here's a video. Did Trump violate campaign finance laws? It's even asking the question.
The question on everyone's mind tonight
it's Fox
is
News.
what
That's what
President
they're
Trump's
asking.
former lawyer, Michael
With CNN,
Cohen,
they'd be like,
claims
Trump
about the hush
violated
money
campaign
payments
laws.
Actually a violation of campaign finance laws. Well, we have tonight's legal eagles here to weigh in. Former chief counsel to the House Judiciary Committee, Julian Epstein, and former member of the Federal Elections Commission,
These guys need to split the difference of their jawlines.
Gentlemen, welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so I want to play a little bit of what Michael Cohen said this morning, because there's this question about whether or not these payments were meant to influence the election, whether they would have been made irrespective of the campaign and the election. Here's what Cohen says about the timing.
You have to remember at what point in time that this
he looks rough.
matter came about, 2 weeks or so before the election, post the Billy Bush comments. So yes, he was very concerned about how this would affect the election.
Okay, Hans, how does that factor into your analysis of this?
Well, it doesn't really factor into it. The plain fact is that neither the FEC, the Federal Election Commission, nor former chairs of the commission believe that paying hush money is a campaign-related expense. It's a personal expense. It's the same as a business expense of a business owner. It's not related to the campaign. That was certainly the attitude of the FEC towards John Edwards.
It's not. It's not related to the campaign. He did it so that it wouldn't affect the election.
What?
How is that not related?
Judge Napolitano actually even said that the courts have ruled, based on the testimony, that this was campaign related. So I don't know how old this clip is, but even the Fox News legal correspondent is actually saying that Trump broke the law.
I want to
know. He's done.
I want to know what black magic was used to turn Howdy Doody into a real man.
I know, right?
Yeah, he looks like a fucking ventriloquist
This
puppet.
is Mr. Turtle from Master of Disguise.
Somebody in the live chat asked if this is the Joker. By Stool Butter said, "Is this the Joker?"
This is the thing about Trump, right? Like, he's like, "How is this campaign contributions? Because I was doing this before I ran for president. This is stuff I'd spend money on before I was ever running for president. Why is it changed just because I'm running for president?"
For him to be able to say that that's not campaign related, like Cohen literally just said he was asking, is this going to affect the outcome of the election? Obviously, they did this to try to, stay the negative reaction from that. It's obviously related to the campaign.
Yeah.
Obviously.
When his contributors actually paid $1 million to his mistress. So it's not a campaign-related expense, no matter what the U.S. attorney in New York has persuaded him to plead guilty to.
Okay, this is what Senator Lindsey Graham had to say about that point.
I love Lindsey Graham.
I never, advocate violating the law. But from Trump's point of view, he's done non-disclosure agreements before to protect his family and his brand.
Okay, so Julian, how do we assess that? If this is about the president,
that was going to be the. I can't believe that's what they're going on.
He was doing this before he ran for president, so it's not going to do with presidency. He's always been paying people off for being a fucking scumbag.
He's always. I can't believe that's the actual defense. I was joking, and now that's what they're going with. Our fucking world is a simulation.
Scrambling.
This is a simulation. This is not real.
They know that they're screwed on this. I mean, everything points to the fact that this was a campaign related. I don't think anybody there that can look at anything going on and say, "Oh, this was nothing to do with the campaign." Of course, it was. As Kyle said, this was literally to keep things under wraps while he was campaigning and why he's still president. So when the courts have actually said, "Look at this person," because they have committed acts of crime knowingly, there's no justification for that. There was a way originally, from what I understand, for him to pay this back, and if this was an accident, you have to pay a fine and things of that nature, but it's not a criminal offense.
An accident?
Well, it's if you have to have mens rea, right? You have to have knowledge that you're committing a crime. If Trump would have convinced people and the courts that he had really no knowledge of this, then he would just have to pay it back and then pay a significant fine on it. But there's no way at this point anybody's going to believe that he didn't have knowledge of this, especially with Cohen's testimony. So he is screwed. It's just a matter of are they going to go after him and indict him while he's in office or after? That's the legality issue, because most of the time the sitting president can't really be indicted. So you might be right. Maybe he might want to try to stay in office as long as he can, so he doesn't have to worry about this when he gets out.
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
Saying, listen, I don't want my wife to find out, or I don't want to hurt the Trump brand. I don't want people to know about this. Versus it's because I want to be president. Who makes that call?
Well, I think that's right, and I think it's ultimately a failure of the statute, and I hate to spoil your show by agreeing with Hans here.
I'm going to put it on the calendar. I'm
of course they got two guys to fucking agree.
I just think the statute
Fox is really trying to cover this up. They put the fucking commentators on the same side. Usually you got one guy to dissent. Like, no, Trump's really fucking guilty, so here's what we're going to do this time. We're just going to get two fucking scumbags with weird chins, but we'll make sure to balance the chins. One guy will have the Frankenstein chin, the other guy will have have recessed fucking Kurt Cobain post suicide chin. What?
If it were to be a campaign finance violation, paying hush money to avoid embarrassing information, the statute should be clear. That's what a violation is. The statute isn't clear, and further, the regulations that the FEC has adopted are also really not clear. During the Clinton impeachment, I and a lot of progressives and Democrats were arguing the president isn't above the law, but he's also not beneath the law, and that and that Clinton shouldn't be prosecuted in that case because civil perjury in that fact situation would have never been prosecuted. Well, I think some of that reasoning stands here as well. There has never really been a successful criminal prosecution for the payment of hush money, which could be a personal expenditure, maybe a campaign expenditure. It's very vague and not defined. Well, and criminal law constitutionally has to be very, very, rather specific. There's something known as unconstitutional for vagueness. I just don't think that this case, the Cohen case, and the and look, I think there's a lot of things, there's a lot of reasons that Mueller should do a full-bore inquiry into the Russian military intelligence attack on the U.S. election. Right, but I'm saying, so I think there are a lot of problems.
So wait. We only got you here so you could agree with this point. Don't go into the other points, please.
I love when they talk about another they're having another talking point, and all of a sudden they're like, no, let's not go that direction. Yeah. You see it on Fox and Friends a lot.
We're trying to control the narrative here.
Go there.
I went
back to this.
I went and downloaded a photo of 1980s Bert and Lonnie. Yeah, 1980s Bert and Lonnie.
How great would it be if there was a sex tape of these two?
God.
And it just resurfaces like tonight
on Betamax.
Yeah, her big old massive Sharpay wig just flopping around.
Fan of Ponce back then.
Of who?
Farrah Fawcett, Loni Anderson. Who was
Tammy Faye Baker?
No.
Heather Locklear.
Heather Locklear.
Yeah.
Oh, Heather Locklear was absolutely stunning.
Heather Locklear kept it going too into the 90s. Was she on
Spin City?
Spin City, yeah.
She was on Spin City for a while.
Yeah. She made my Michael J. Fox shake.
Right. Oh my God, dude. That
was a euphemism.
You're going to hell.
I don't believe in it.
We're gonna take a quick break, about a 1-minute break for a quick word from our sponsor. We'll be right back. Also, there's a link in the description if you guys are interested in taking up our sponsors tonight on a special offer they have for our fans. Details in the description.
Use your sports and pop culture knowledge to make some extra cash this week with BetDSI. BetDSI.com has been paying winners for 20 years. With a really user-friendly interface and a mobile site and the fastest payouts in the industry, it's no wonder BetDSI is top-rated on betting review sites. Simply play, win, and get paid. BetDSI offers betting options for everything from NFL, NCAA football, NBA, NHL, UFC, and all other major sports to politics, reality TV, esports, virtually everything. There's also live betting, which lets you bet on games through the entire matchup, every play and every minute until the end. I played it myself and recommend BetDSI if you want to add some excitement to the sports you're already watching. Try for yourself. New members get a 100% bonus match promo using code PEASANTS. That's PEASANTS. That's more than double your money to start winning today. Just go to betdsi.com and use promo code PEASANTS to get this limited time 100% bonus offer and make some extra cash on the sports you know and love. It's only a game until you bet at it. BetDSI.
All right. Welcome back.
That's betdsi.com. Check it out. Make some money.
Yeah. I actually used it a few times because I was betting on some MMA fights, which are really they're good to they're actually good to bet against the odds on because a lot of times in MMA there's just crazy upsets, like someone will get knocked out unexpectedly or they'll get put in a submission hold. So I've been doing that a lot as far as sports gambling goes.
Did you win anything?
Yeah. Yeah, because basically, if it's not an upset that you're betting on, like if you're betting on someone who's favored to win, it's almost not even worth it. You stand to lose way more than you gain, you know. So it's best to look at a fight that has like close odds, where like an underdog like has a chance of winning, and betting against the odds that they will win, because then the payout's bigger if you win than what you would lose. So
what's up?
You can also just bet on whatever you want because it's fun. Never bet with money you don't have, right? It's entertainment.
Exactly.
Have some fun.
Listen to what they're talking, or look at what they're talking about in the fucking chat. Jesus.
Still going on about 80s porn stars and stuff,
Well,
I think.
Faye Reagan's like not from the 80s, I don't think. But it's just funny that they're talking about this nasty shit. You guys are disgusting.
It's my fault. I got the chat in a frenzy. I started talking about sexy ass Dolly Parton, sexy ass Loni Anderson.
I started talking about Loni
Oh,
Anderson.
so it's your fault. I was going to take the blame.
But only because
You sicko.
WKRP in Cincinnati was brought up.
Oh, only because excuses.
So blame me.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we're all a little guilty here. Well, I don't know.
Sharing the guilt, except for Kyle. He doesn't care about any of these women. Well, no, he said he would do Dolly Parton.
I would do
so
Dolly,
fair
yeah.
enough.
Yeah,
he'd do
but-
Dolly.
Oh my god.
But that's more of like an iconic situation. You kind of have to.
Yeah.
You do Dolly, you do Cher. If you get the
Cher,
chance.
absolutely.
Yeah, if you get the chance, you bang Willie Nelson. There's just these iconic.
Someone in the
levels.
chat said Family Ties older sister. That's Justine Bateman. That's
yeah,
Jason
Justine Bateman.
Bateman's actual sister.
Yeah.
What about who's the lady from Golden Girls? The older one. Yeah, well, no, not Blanche.
B. Arthur?
No.
Yeah, B. Arthur.
No. B. Arthur. B. Arthur.
She was older than Estelle Getty.
Well, yeah, the actresses, yeah.
Yeah. But
I thought you meant characters.
okay, Estelle Getty played her mother, but B.
Yeah.
Arthur was actually older than her. Would you get a B. Arthur fur pie?
Dude, I'm moving on. You're so fucking stupid. Seriously. You belong in this segment.
Maybe. It's just sad that you can't have a orgy with Golden Girls anymore. It's always going to be one-on-one.
That'd actually be hot, I think. Only.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to
hell
another
yes.
edition of Operation to the Fire Ministries. This is an
Hell
important
yes.
video I think a lot of my subscribers need to watch. I think some of you know about what I'm going to say today, and I think there's a lot of you that are extremely ignorant.
No, they don't. No, they don't. None of them do. None of them have a clue what you're going to say every time you turn your camera on.
I'm not even sure he knows what he's going to say every time he turns his camera on. I think
No.
he's just stream
Most
of
of the time he
consciousness.
shouldn't.
He's at work again. The work
the
that he
barrels.
supposedly was fired from.
You can tell it's going to be a good video when you see all of these mountains of barrels just streaming down the camera.
We watched one where the customer came in and he left his camera running and like ran off to help the customer. He didn't edit out the dead air where he's off camera. It's just so weird.
That happens so many times. Like, there's so many videos where he'll leave it running and he'll go and answer the phone and just be talking with whoever's on the phone there and just leaves all of that in. Every single piece of it. None of it is ever cut out for the people who are watching sake. You don't know when he's coming back to finish his rants. I mean, it's just
You know what?
bizarre.
I forgot to read the Streamlabs, so I'm going to do that here. Arge Rich, $5. Billy, I thought you were a sweet boy, but here I find out you're a racist, pedo, and sexist. Why, Billy? Why?
I think this is a terrible meme and it should stop. Thank you for your money, though.
Antonovich, $50. Seriously, fuck all these Dems. They're either too old, too corrupt, or just irrelevant. Fuck it. Puking Dog, 2020. Also, my second Streamlabs didn't play. Yeah, I see that here. I'll read that too. Drunk Babushka, $5. I think he could win, but he won't run because he's getting tired of being president. I don't agree. I think he'll run.
Yeah, I think that's a far impossibility, but it'd be interesting if it did happen.
Matthew Ryan back in $5. Hey, my fellow peasants, Aussie here. Almost never make it to the live shows. I've been watching since 2014. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Antonovich, $50. I'm local around NYC and I drive a day cab, so no long haul runs for me. But when I buy my first truck, planning on coming in the spring, I will buy a sleeper and might just take a load to Washington. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I like truck stop bathrooms. Is that weird? They let you shower.
The barrel
and
will
stuff?
fall on G-Man just like it did with Worf.
We can only pray.
Did you guys watch the video that he put out after he came on your show the last time, where he was talking about how he potentially wanted to become the next member of the Drunken Peasants? Like he seriously was thinking.
Oh wow.
I don't remember.
That was a possibility.
I don't remember asking him if he wanted to do that.
Well, I'm sure you. I'm sure you didn't ask him. Yeah, he was just putting two and two together.
I've always
He
got
keeps
along
winning.
with G-Man. Like G-Man's never tried to cross me before. So I know he doxed you guys or whatever, right?
Well, he docks you, but he doesn't know if you'll kick his butt because you wear a wrestling
He's
mask.
doxed Kyle, and G-Man and I go way back, and he came on your program before, and he actually was talking crap about me.
Yeah.
A few times. So
He doxed me. He put what he did was he was going through his phone and he had a meltdown based on something else that had happened, and so he was like, "I tell you what, I'm going to go through my phone, and the first atheist that I come up to, I'm just going to put their information out there." So he had my number in his phone and he held it up to the screen. But you know what? I didn't even get pissed off that he doxed me. The only thing that I was pissed off about was that I only got one phone call out of it.
That does suck. Actually.
Why did he have your phone number though? What made you decide?
we at one try to help G-Man, but G-Man had threatened to dox me, and that's the funniest thing is all my information's out there. There's nothing to dox. My address, my phone number, everything is public. Anybody can find me. They want to come over, have a beer with me. And he threatened to dox me. I'm like, I don't think you understand how this works, G-Man.
Before we started Non Sequitur, I did an interview with him. I was going to do like a backstory between him and a couple of people who were in the debates a lot, on YouTube, and so that's how he had my number. I sat down, like I didn't really sat down with him, so to speak, but we had a Skype call for like 2.5 hours, and it was pleasant. I mean, it was a nice guy to talk to. It wasn't. It was completely different from how he is, like in these videos when you have him one-on-one or you're not the subject of his rants. Then
right.
He's not bad.
He can act normal sometimes.
Yeah, he's not bad. So
to what I'm about to talk about, and I'll try to talk about this a little bit more in some Google Hangouts as well.
And I think the last time I had you on, Kyle, I told you how old G-Man is, and you couldn't believe it, right?
Yeah, I couldn't. I still can't believe that.
Yeah.
What'd you say he was, 40?
He's like 41, 42 years old.
I think he's 42, actually.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So him, Pimp Monk, and Brett Keane are all the same age.
Yeah.
That puts things into a different perspective right there.
They could all go to high school together.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I could have went to high school with them. I would have been. They would have been seniors, and I would have been. Yeah.
Yeah. They put you in a garbage can for sneaking out to smoke cigarettes during lunch.
For those of you who
Brett
don't
Keane
know,
is the same age as this guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a newsflash: slavery in the United States of America has never ended. It never ended. It was never abolished, and it was never ended. Now, if we're talking about the transatlantic slave trade, where people were stolen from other countries and brought over here, or when African kings sold their people and brought them over here, then yes, that has been abolished. But I'm talking about the slavery in general. That has never ended here in the United States. People are still working for free. How do I know this? Let's use a few examples of what
he's going to say prison.
We see going on here and talk about what slavery is. Number one,
please.
Let's define what slavery.
Please don't say prison.
He's going to say
because I've been there. I spent a year there, and you don't work for free. And what you're doing is you're serving out a sentence for something that you did against the rules of society.
But what if the rules of society are put into place to get people into these prisons so these prisons can produce fucking low manufactured clothing? Yeah, because then we're looking at slavery.
Maybe, but still, you get paid for the work that you do in prison.
But you don't get paid a federal wage, right? You get paid pennies on the dollar.
But that's incarceration. It's not the same as slavery. There's a distinct difference.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, too. Like, you can refuse to work in prison. Like, several people that I was in there with did that, and you have that option. You won't get beaten for it. You'll just get taken to solitary until you either do that the rest of your time there, or you decide that you actually want to work. But like, you're not
solitary is
mental
psychological.
Abuse, right?
Yeah, I mean.
I agree. I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to advocate for that. I'm just saying, like, they don't like beat you with knife sticks like they would if you were a slave. You didn't have a choice when you were a slave. You did the work or you got beat.
4 years before we go any further, okay? Slavery.
Hold on.
Is pretty much like this. Whatever you obey will become your master. Oh, that's a broad way of looking at slavery. Not a broad way. It's just the truth. If you obey something, it becomes your master. You can be a slave to sin. You can be a slave to a philosophy. You can be a slave to an idolatry. To an ideology. And if you can't walk away from it under your own free will, then you are a slave.
I think G-Man needs to learn the word equivocation.
You know what though? I can't say that I don't disagree with that statement though.
But it's still equivocation. He's using the term in different ways.
Yeah, but there are people who are slaves to. Like G-Man is a slave to Christianity and the way that he's thinking.
But that's not the same slavery as we're talking about as far
as but it's still
being someone's property as a slave, and that's a direct form of equivocation fallacy.
I didn't expect that, G-Man. You threw me for a loop there.
Can't walk away because the vice has got such a grip on you.
I thought he was going to say prison because he said that here on the show before. He compared, I
thought he was going to talk about Mr. Slave from South Park.
Then you are a servant of that thing. You are a slave. Okay? So, what are we slaves to today? Well, number one, we're slaves to the system that we have here in the United States. If you collect a Social Security check, if you get a welfare check, if you get anything like that.
Why is there a puppet back there? Why is there a puppet? Is G-Man about to start doing cringe rap? Why is there a puppet chilling there?
Hold on, listen to what he says here.
Security check, if you get a welfare
the fuck is that puppet?
You're a slave if you get Social Security.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You're a slave. You're a slave if you get Social Security.
Yeah, that's what he said when you were freaking out about the puppet.
Well, I'm sorry. There's a freaking cop puppet there. I think it's a cop. I can't tell.
Yeah,
it's a cop.
It's a sheriff.
Looks check. Like. If you get anything like,
isn't it like Woody from Toy Story or something?
Wouldn't he?
I think it's his uncle or his second cousin.
You get a wealth.
I guess in 2018 there is slavery and it's puppets. Because puppets serve their master.
Check. If you get anything like that,
there's a lot of meta-narrative going on
then
right now.
For the most part, you are a slave to the U.S. government. And if you don't do what the United States government tells you to do, you will no longer receive your Social Security check, nor will you,
but you have an option.
receive.
That's what you don't understand. That's what he doesn't get. Like, you have the option not to, and then go and do your own thing. Like, slavery. If you're slavery is when you don't have a choice.
Well, but it's also about
into that, and you take it out when you're 62 and a half, or 65 if you want to like get your full amount. But I mean, you pay it's something you pay into. They invest this, you get a fund out of it, returns out of it. It's not. I don't understand how getting Social Security has anything to do with slavery whatsoever.
I just wish I could ask him what his definition of slavery is. Like, just ask him that one thing.
He basically thinks that anything that you have some kind of subservience to, you're a slave to, whether it be smoking, sin, vice, government.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, like we all are forced to pay taxes, right?
That's just like your
We're
opinion,
slaves.
man.
We're all slaves.
It's all subjective, anyways, right?
I thought he was going somewhere good there.
A food stamp check, and you won't get any insurance
According
either.
to G-Man, we're all slaves.
Oh, I'm free. I can tell the government I don't need it. Yeah, you're free. Yeah. And how are you going to pay for all your food? How are you going to pay your rent? How you gonna pay for? I'll get a job. You told the government that you couldn't work.
Huh?
By his logic, though, he is a slave to his religion, because if he tells God that he's not going to do what God says, then God throws him in debt. I mean, that's the same.
But he's okay with that. He's okay with slavery. He advocates slavery is morally justified.
No way.
Yeah, he does.
Position for years.
That it's morally justified?
Yes, absolutely.
Like biblical slavery.
Yes, biblical slavery is morally justified, and he does conflate it with indentured servitude a little bit. But yeah, no, he's always had that position that slavery is moral.
How ironic is it that an African American guy is on camera advocating for slavery? That is the most fucked up thing I have ever heard in my life.
He argued with Matt Dillahunty about it.
I knew that he was trying to justify like biblical slavery. I didn't know that he still thought that any type of slavery now would be a morally justifiable position.
What he says is in of itself, there's nothing wrong with a human being owning another human being. That's what he said.
Exactly what he just said. Yes, that's verbatim, I think, because that's exactly what he has said. And yeah, we've all chastised him before. We've all just thought that was the most bizarre position we've ever heard on slavery. The fact that he's black or white makes no difference to me. The fact that a human being is saying this to me is disturbing.
Yeah, but it's just equally. I mean, it's worse when you have somebody that is African American and who that race has been put through the transatlantic. True. I mean, to me, that just is extra like shit.
It's bizarre. G-Man has bizarre ideas.
It's the equivalent of a Holocaust survivor person saying, yeah, you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. What Hitler was doing, completely fine. I'm all for it.
Or a staunch Christian that has their ethnic background as a culture that was stomped out by Christianity, things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just sad.
It is sad. I mean, how can you take him seriously? And how does he have?
Nobody takes him seriously, right? Let's not forget that right now.
Well, yeah.
No, there's like 4 people on the planet, and I know them by name that would take G-Man seriously.
And it's because G-Man takes them seriously, and they're stroking each other's egos.
He's almost got 11,000 subscribers. How?
Mostly hate subscribers.
That's because of years of promotion by other channels drawing.
They're like, look at this guy. He thinks slavery is.
There's like
actually, it's your fault.
Yeah,
it's your fault.
It is.
You're to blame for this. You created this monster.
G-Man used to be entertaining. I think I've kind of put him in the past only for the fact that he's gone down this narrative of that whole B-17. He's talked about it on DP before. Anybody who advocates for B-17 as a cure for cancer or Laetrile or amygdalin, I don't have anything to do with, because I call them death peddlers. I think it's disgusting that these people are out there telling people don't get conventional medicine, don't get radiological therapy, don't get chemotherapy. You know what? Just eat a freaking apricot seed and you'll be just fine. That's what this guy promotes, and that's why I don't have anything to do with him anymore.
But I go back to this point, Steve, though. If you're somebody that's going to get your medical advice from G-Man, I mean, there's bigger problems, I think.
It's natural
if you're going to
selection
listen to a G-Man video, you know what I mean? Like, if you're listening to a G-Man video and you're like, well, he makes a whole lot of sense. I should totally stop this medication.
But people, when they're sick, are desperate, and a lot of them are not in their right frame of mind. And I think that plays upon that narrative that, I'm willing to try something else. And those people have much shorter life expectancies, unfortunately.
Maybe. Thanks for that.
G-Man wins again.
The master now.
Bastard.
So anyway, moving on with that conversation. All right. A lot of people are in bondage to the United States government. When one of us are walking down the street, whether you be African American, Puerto Rican, Hispanic,
slave master,
Caucasian, whatever, you're walking down the
Why
street.
Why do you keep walking in
got
circles?
A cop sporting a light in your eyes, and they accuse you of doing something that you probably didn't do. That counts as a record against that particular ethnic group. And then they start saying things like in the FBI, black people commit more crimes than anybody else.
Oh, now he's going to bring up the racial thing after he just tried to justify slavery. Now he's going to go into the stereotype thing.
And this group of people commit this particular crime to anybody else because they got to meet some quota. And then when they lock you up and put you in these prisons, which they're making money off you when you're
here's the prison argument. This is slavery.
Please understand that they have invested interest with you going to jail and serving them and doing community service when you work for free.
That's true.
Well, there is something to be said for that.
Yeah.
I would actually give G-Man that one.
There was that judge, I think it was Pennsylvania or something. He was getting a take for people he pushed in.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
and that's slave driving. I don't care.
I'd agree with G-Man on that point. I don't have an argument there.
And maybe you don't think prisoners deserve to make a living wage in prison. Maybe that's a thing. But businesses don't deserve to get prison labor if they're a public business, right? Like maybe making license plates or something for the government. That's one way to pay it back.
Private business.
Yeah, but when you're a private business, throwing like a sewing room into a prison and getting pennies on the dollar for your whatever pants or whatever you make, the corsage.
That's slave labor.
That's slave labor, and it's fucked up.
I agree with you there.
If it's from the government, that's one thing, and obviously they do get a paid wage, even though it's not much. But the thing in prison is most of the time you're paying off a debt that you're incurring while being in there.
Yeah,
I was making $1 a day, and when you leave, like you have to pay for every day that you're in there. It's like in North Carolina here, it was like $48 a day.
Damn, God.
Yeah, you do that for a year. You know, I didn't even come close to making half of what I owed for being in there. And they literally hand you a bill when you leave there. You have, I think, 90
Thank you very
days.
much. Here's a bill for staying in prison.
Yeah, like a hotel, like a goddamn hotel. They hand you to.
How absurd is that?
40. It was like $40-some a day. Your meals, your housing, the clothing fee that they have. They even had a bed tax, which was what I couldn't believe. There was like a certain percentage in there for a bed tax, and you didn't even get a bed. You got a bunk with a mattress that was hard as fuck. It was not a bed. You can't constitute that as a bed. But yeah, it was. I left owing for my stay.
So fucked
there.
That's ridiculous. I didn't even.
Really seem shocked by this.
I didn't even realize that. Like,
Well, and that's why people get stuck in the revolving door of prison, because if you get out and you have, if you're there for several years and you get hit with this, the bill for being there, they give you a time frame that you have to pay it back. If you don't, it's a violation of your probation or your parole, because that's part of it that you pay that off. Now, most people when they get out, because they have either an F or whatever attached to their name, they can't get a good job. So they get stuck in this mode where they're constantly, it doesn't become anything about the crime anymore. It's money that you owe. So you're constantly trying to, outdo that, and they just throw you back in jail. And when you get thrown in jail for owing money and you're recurring those fees again for being stuck in prison again, then you owe double on top of what you were.
That's so fucked up.
In that case, fuck not getting paid minimum wage. They should get union wages. If they're paying to fucking be there, they should be getting $35 a fucking hour for whatever they do.
Yeah, it's a fucked up system. Like you not only get punished by the sentence, and then whatever they make you pay back, either fining you or whatever for the crime. But on top of that, you also have to pay while you're in there. So the state's just trying to squeeze, and then on top of that, you have to pay probation fees or parole fees every month until you're off of it. So at every turn, they're hitting you with fee after fee. It took me over 2 years to finish paying off everything when you got done with those. I mean, it's just and people get stuck in those revolving doors, and that's why people can't get out of prison, or it seems like they're always going back. It's mostly to do with money.
They need to just set up like a Twitch TV stream in prison and let the guys get donations and stuff to pay off their debt. They can like kick the crap out of each other or something.
They wouldn't allow that on Twitch.
They wouldn't
streaming to the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, because you gotta make money somehow. If you're sitting in a room all the time, let's turn it into like a Ice Poseidon situation and make them do IRL prison streams. Habanero oil, yeah. Like, all right, guys, I need to get out, and I don't want to pay this bill of 3 years in prison. I'll put this hot pepper in my eye. Make it a TV show.
If they knew they could make money off of it, they would do that. They would do that. Now they actually have, like in women's prisons, they're letting them have tablets in a lot of places. So because it like calms them down and it keeps them busy instead of like looking for, which it makes sense.
Well, you can get tablets in men prisons as well. JPay sells a $60 tablet to men or women in a lot of prisons.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
They have an entire iTunes for prisoners. They'll sell you MP3s and shit. JPEG.
Well, in like Sweden or Norway, Scandinavia, one of those countries, prison is not like you get a cottage.
Yeah, we on the show we've watched a documentary about that before, and there's like recording studios and video games and all kinds of fun shit.
If you gotta pay your way through prison, they should have recording studios. If you want to be a rapper, you can put your little rap album out.
I bet they don't even pay for it up there.
Well, it and not only that, like they're making money off of that, but the canteen stuff too. Like you get food and all that is almost triple what it is, out in the real world. So the state is like squeezing every single dime that they can.
That's so messed up.
Out of everywhere that you turn, you're paying. And the thing that pisses me off the most that I think should be reformed first and foremost is the way they do the phone calls, because you're paying literally like $10 a call at least minimum, depending on where you are. And if you're local, it's around $10. But I was spending like $80 a week just to call home, and that's the one thing that everybody needs more than anything is to be able to communicate with their family. Some people go their entire stay and don't have the money to afford a phone call home.
Is that with a phone card?
That's how much you're going to pay for it.
With a phone card, like if you get a phone.
That's why a lot of people who call from prison use collect calls. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you can't do it, and it's a phone call. It doesn't,
and that's so ridiculous because there's no way in hell a landline call will cost $10. What the fuck?
No, they're making
not these days. Yeah,
they're making money off of that phone call. We would I think for a 15-minute phone call, if you were calling out of state, which most people there would be, they wouldn't be out of state. There are a lot of people there that were from, not North Carolina, but they would pay upwards of like $25 a call just because of once you got the long distance fees done, and you're paying per minute, which is the crazy thing. Like they're charging you per minute on your thing, and it's just not affordable for a lot of people.
See, I don't have a problem with paying for services if they're just the base value. When you're making a profit off of it, that's when there's a huge problem to be had. Right, when when prison for profit is to me a little disturbing.
If you're going to put people in fucked up situations with fucked up living conditions, worse than a slumlord situation, feed them garbage fucking food, trough food, they should pay what it costs to make this happen. Prison shouldn't be a profit center, especially when you have people making fucking payoffs for throwing people into the prison. When there's judges getting paid off the top.
Judges and things of that nature, exactly. We've seen that before. You guys pointed out there's a couple instances of judges doing exactly that.
Privately owned prison should not be a thing.
They should.
That should not be something that happens in this country. Whenever you're making money off of the, because a lot of people there. I was in there with, I don't know how many people that. Non-violent, they were creative as fuck. The only thing is, where they ended up there is they never had anybody tell them that they could do more with what they were, the talent that they had. Because these guys would literally they would take chip bags, turn them inside out, and braid these strands of the silver lining and make a picture frame that looked just like you would buy one. It was sturdy. People would, they could take those talents and use them for something different. They just didn't have, they throw them into this concrete box and expect them, to sit there and over time change their ways. And actually people leave prison a better criminal than they came in because they're able to trade, secrets on and whatever, on how to do things. So there's nothing there that actively rehabilitates. And I think that's the big issue.
Before we move on, I wanted to remind everybody, for those of you who do not want to use Patreon any longer because of policies that Patreon has recently enacted, we've decided to honor your request and create a Subscribestar account. So now we have an account that's not on Patreon, that's basically the same thing as Patreon. It offers all the same perks. It's still integrated with our Discord. Basically, it's the same thing. So you can support us without, if you prefer not to use Patreon. We still use Patreon, but we've decided to give you guys an alternative.
And for those of you that don't like Subscribe Star, you can send us gold bricks to our P.O. box.
Hell yeah.
Or we're going to start our own Drunken Peasants prison system, for-profit prison system. If you would like to help out the show, go commit a crime in our jurisdiction so we can lock you up and make a ton of money off of you.
I like it.
By the way, I will say this. This is one position I actually changed my position on. Kyle actually has convinced me that private prisons are probably not the way to go. Because before we had talked about this, and I didn't seem to have much problem with the privatization of prison, but after reviewing it and actually thinking about it extensively, I think it's definitely not a good way to go.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Kyle, you convinced me of something for a change. Yay.
What Joe Arpaio was doing in Arizona.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So gross.
Kid City.
Yeah.
Tent City. There's just it leads to so many different types of problems that I just think it's not worth it. And I think that if you're making a profit off other people's punishments, then there's something ethically not right with that.
You're fucked up.
And especially when not everybody's there because they were guilty, right? There's just there's just situations where you get pushed into the wrong zone. And
right.
I feel like for that reason alone, we have to be humane with every criminal or every prisoner, because some of them aren't
Even
there rightfully.
At Bel Air High School in 1967, for his high school yearbook photo, the real Brent Spiner has tons more Texas manliness than his Jew clone, who.
Oh shit!
It's her vocal inflection when she says the really fucked up shit. Like, she knows it's fucked up because she changes her tone when she says it. She like almost gets off on it. She has a sadistic glee when she says Jew clone
In all caps too. That's the like she's not shying away from that at all.
Oh, Brent Spiner. I feel sorry.
Well, let's
for
ask
you.
let's ask the actual Jew what he thinks. Jew, how do you feel about this situation?
I don't see a similarity.
You don't think you look like Brent Spiner?
The nose, maybe. But all
I'm not asking you about. I'm not asking you about the pictures. I'm asking you about how you feel about her saying Jew clone.
The Jew clone. Oh well, we're Jewish people are all clones. We know this. We're just one big happy family of clones.
The reason they're the chosen few is because
this stuff. People know that.
The reason.
I only Jewish because my mom's Jewish. But again, I just think these people are idiots when they start bringing up anything to do with anti-Semitic remarks. So I don't take it personally.
The reason that you're the chosen few is because you can only clone somebody so many times before they start coming out warped and messed up and wonky. So
you end up with Brett Keane, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go from Brent Spiner to Brett Keane. If you
exactly.
Can't fuck around like that.
That's the progression of cloning. What happens?
Brett Keane's actually my buddy.
If you look at this picture, though, look at the nose.
The nose is similar. I'll give him that. But the nose is quite similar.
And isn't that, Steve, what they usually, isn't that what she's pointing to when she says Jew clone? Is that why she's saying Jew clone?
Probably, because typically people think, I guess, Jews have big noses.
Yeah, I think that's, we've got to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Good work, Jew.
Is Gayle more crazy or more racist? I'm going to say more crazy. It doesn't make her racist
I don't
actions
know.
any
I'm
lesser.
going to go with 50-50.
She's a split in the middle. You flip the coin between crazy and racist, and it lands perfectly on its side.
Well, they're always related to each other. Whenever you see racist, you always see crazy.
True.
What's the difference though between a regular clone and a Jew clone? Like, what makes it a Jew clone? That's what I want to know.
I didn't know Brett Spiner was Jewish. So that tells you how much I pay attention.
Well, is he Jewish, or did she suggest that the Jesuits cloned him so they could use him? I'm confused.
I have no idea.
Spiner doesn't sound like a Jewish name to me. Like if it was like Brent Goldstein or what's the guy from Entourage's last name? What is his name?
Ari
Gold.
Ari Gold. Ari Gold. Yeah.
That seems Jewish to me. Not Spiner.
Owns Brent's Twitter right now. Yeah, the Jew clone took over Brent's Twitter about 2 years ago, and his Twitter used to be funny, and now all the jokes are so dorky and they're not funny. He's ruined Brent's Twitter. And Brent's really upset about that.
Brent's
this is
really
what Brent looked
upset
like
about
in
that.
1967 at Bel Air High School in Bel Air, Texas, where he went to school. And I actually visited there to do research for my novel, Silver Skies. And as you can see, look at this high school kid's manliness. What a Texas macho guy he is. I mean,
I feel uncomfortable.
And that clone, when you look at his face, he looks like he has the maturity of a 2-year-old. That's probably his literal age, by the way, or even younger. That what
His
they do
literal
with
age is
these
2?
clones
Or
is
even
that
younger.
they're created in Jesuit cloning labs.
Who is this
and
woman?
then they
Gayle Cord Schuler.
Yeah.
By the way, he is Jewish, believe it or not. He was born in a
Brent?
Jewish family.
Oh, well, I was wrong.
Yeah, this is Jesuit clone techniques, and not just 50 years of aging, which includes about 10 years going through the 80s, where he probably had a lot of cocaine.
Definitely. You can see that. Definitely.
use accelerated growth hormone to age them and make them look. So their physical age is probably like 1 year old, and their emotional age is like a 2-year-old. I mean, look at that face. He looks like a 2-year-old. The one on the right, that's the clone.
My fucking God.
And, you know,
All right, now we're at
and the Brent
75% crazy,
Spiner there.
25% racist. We've shifted.
High school
His
in
literal age is
1967.
1.
And here's Brent in 1990. I think that's when this picture was taken. This is for the cover for his album, Old Yellow Eyes Is Back. This is the Brent Spiner I fell in love with. Look at the manliness there, the Texas manliness. That's what I fell in love with. And
This is the cover of an album that he did.
What is he, probably in his late 30s, early 40s there?
Probably.
Yeah, that's
I
why
need
she
a
fell in love with
shower.
him.
Listening to her describe.
She needs a shower.
you don't know the half of
Hose
it.
her down. Yeah, she is.
You do not know the half of it.
She once reenacted a scene between Brent Spiner molesting Macaulay Culkin. Not just molesting, we're talking full on backdoor mega damage.
Okay, you say that way more calm than you should.
We watched
you
the
have seen
movie.
too much. You have seen too much, Billy.
Yeah,
You have
I've
seen
been through too much. It's just that's like the level of what is going on in this woman's head. But of course, because Brent Spiner's her hero, he was drugged with mind control drugs to do it to Macaulay Culkin. He would never do that under his own volition.
the Brent Spiner clone
Oh.
can't get anywhere near Brent when it comes to macho Texas manliness. They are two different people. And anybody who has an emotional IQ of 5 can see this. I have created a web page that goes into a lot of detail about how I know that it was the real Brent Spiner who talked to me on my phone in 1991, 92, and 93. And also I believe that well, let me go ahead and show you some things here. This is his album, which he made for me, Old Yellow Eyes Is Back, and he admitted
What
this.
is
There are-
going on?
He made the album for Gayle. He admitted in
I
their
don't think
calls.
so.
Troll or not troll segment.
No.
This is crazy or
I
fucking
wish.
crazy segment.
Oh my God.
She is just out there. And there was one point in time where right after Hugh Hefner passed away, he emailed her from heaven saying that she was going to be in the Centurion edition of Playboy, Playboy of the Century, Playmate of the Century. And so she took nude pictures of herself and released them to the internet because she wanted to honor Hugh Hefner and his death, since he contacted her from heaven to make
By
her
the
Playmate of
way,
the Century.
also, she is the commander of an intergalactic starship /
course she
church
is.
known
That was
as
plausible.
That
It's-
makes sense.
it's
That-
known-
that makes sense.
it's known as the Church of Gayle, and there's many crew members that she calls her men that live there. They're all on her marriage list. There's Hugh Jackman, Gerard Butler,
Matthew McConaughey,
yeah, Keanu Reeves,
Billy the Fridge.
No.
Oh, damn it.
But then there's also Vladimir Putin. There's a few other weird ones that don't quite fit in there. And
What do
then,
you mean Vladimir Putin doesn't fit in there?
but the reason she's on Earth is because the Jesuits scrambled her signal, so she has to stay on Earth, and all of her men up on the spaceship. They have to settle for Gayle sex robots and brain to brain.
Yeah, she's
too.
capable of brain to brain.
Brain to
stuff.
brain.
You guys know this way too much detail.
Wait, no, Steve, you know the people that we get on our show. Why have we not gotten Gayle?
I
is
don't know.
perfect.
Is she relation to Gillian Epperly, the
Nope.
Dilly Juice chick?
No,
There seems to
no.
be some kind of crazy familiarity.
They probably run in the same. I
don't think so.
Psycho circle, right? They probably have the same disability in their brain. They're the same type of broken.
We've done several episodes on her. Jilly Juice put out a post a couple weeks ago where she's got this juice, this cabbage juice and salt juice that she's.
Yeah, we know Jeff Holiday, so we know all about it.
Yeah. But she put out a post the other day asking for people who were amputees to volunteer to let her adopt them so that she could show them how her juice could regrow their limbs.
This is criminal. Leave Trump alone. Let's get this woman in jail.
This is a letter that I wrote to Brent. And as you can see, my telephone number is up at the top. I actually have a copy of this. I was using a dot matrix printer back in those days.
Well, look, this is old.
And I've got this typed word for word at my...
This is proof that she talks to Brent Spiner because she wrote him a letter.
Typed something.
Why would she write somebody a letter if they weren't corresponding with her via phone?
Makes sense to me. God, that's crazy.
That's amazing. When that's what's crazy, and we're talking about.
Oh, you have. This is a tame one. This one is tame as fuck. Let's see. Let me find a good one here.
Oh
no.
Oh no. Intergalactic rabbit hole.
You guys know who Rain Florence is?
Not familiar.
Oh, you should check Rain Florence out. She Steve, you want to? I can't say it without gagging. Do you want to tell them what Rain Florence did?
is infamous for a couple things. One, she had a video on examining and showing people how to check for things on vaginal discharges by showing the consistency and viscosity of it on camera, and another one by showing how literally in real time how to do a urine enema on herself.
Yep.
I think I did see the urine enema. She's like a really thin woman.
Nasty. She's like the only woman on the planet that I wouldn't have sex with, and that's saying anything. So yeah, she's that bad.
Let's see here.
I can't hear the word discharge without discharging a little bit. It sucks.
I agree.
You like that word discharge?
It's a vicious cycle.
I agree. To me, it's amazing that she had I think YouTube finally closed her account, but it's amazing that she was able to get away with half the stuff that she has on there.
Because it was educational, I guess.
she would show you how to peel a cucumber in order to use it.
Well, hold on.
and then make a salad out of it.
Yeah, what's the technique? I actually would like to know this.
Stroke against the grain.
I didn't need to know that.
Oh my God, The Forbidden Abyss, Part 1, the children's audio book.
Oh.
No. There's just some weird stuff.
Gayle.
I guess I'll do this one. We played this one not too long ago, but I think it has some great. I think it remains relevant, no matter how many times you watch it. If I can get it here, it's lagging behind.
Laggy Gayle. Gayle is crazy.
Why wouldn't Gayle put her TV up on the top?
Everyone mentions that. Everyone is like, "What is up with that TV placement there?"
That's odd. Like the microwave and the TV need to be switched.
Maybe she prefers watching the popcorn pop.
A rapist.
Look,
those of you who got my book, Jesus, the Eternal Bridegroom, you probably and have listened to my video. And I'm going to have a link for the video that I'm talking about, where I did a reading
She's a
from
very
Jesus,
productive
the Eternal
crazy,
Bridegroom,
though.
about my men being raped at the Jesuit homosexual compound in San Francisco.
Holy fuck! Wow, there's so much in that one sentence.
Were out looking
Terrence
for
and
Waldo.
Hugh Jackman, by the way.
Let me just see. I took notes here. And Terrence said he was just shaken. They were out looking for Waldo, and they managed to pick up a distress signal for
Waldo from
and
the
it had
Where's
been
Waldo
broadcasting
books.
since before they knew that he was missing.
He's canon.
And he said they just now noticed it because the signal was slower and warped for some
I want
reason.
to believe that's true.
So they tracked the signal to California, to San Francisco.
Oh, it gets
but
better.
They had to go look
This
on
lore is
foot
so
because
thick.
they couldn't
I can't believe
locate
somebody
Waldo
wrote
by
this.
his distress signal from the church. Sarah Avery in California is messing up all of the communications and everything, so they're not accurate. She's still out there.
I just want to get to the Bubba part, and then I'll move on.
And so Terrance and Hugh were searching and searching, and even the Church of Gayle staff was monitoring Sarah Avery nearby, took time to help them look for Waldo. And eventually, Terrance and Hugh got hungry, so they decided to find a place to eat. And everything was fine until Hugh, who was talking to Terrance, this is when they were in the restaurant, he suddenly froze up and dropped his fork. And then Terrance said, Hugh, you all right? And suddenly they heard a familiar voice. It was, "Lit my butthole." He said it kind of just like that. It was Bubba, the morbidly obese, gay, black Jesuit.
I was not ready for that.
It was Bubba, the morbidly obese, gay, black Jesuit that said that.
Bubba, the morbidly obese, gay, black Jesuit.
I can't
he
back
said,
any of this. I'm sorry.
Wow. How can you top that? I mean, honestly, how can you top that?
Yeah, and Gayle has like so many videos, so many crazy stories, she writes books,
It's
she
another
makes
dimension.
movies. The movies are all like done off of one cam in her bedroom with she's every character.
She's
in the
every
movie.
character.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Wow. That is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She's even been on cable TV before. Someone put her on TV.
I bet.
She was on.
It's like an accident. You can't look away.
She was on Tosh.0 once. It was.
Totally believe that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Oh, Gayle.
Yeah. Oh, Gayle. I got blocked on Twitter by Brent Spiner because I tweeted something. I retweeted something that he tweeted at her, and he was like, "Fuck this," and blocked me.
And then somebody messaged Brent Spiner asking him to unblock Ben, and he was like, "Why did I block him again?" And I don't think nobody told him because we were like, "Because it's Gayle." Then he tells him gets blocked too.
So he just blocks anything that has to do with her.
I think.
Yeah, he's not a fan.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine. That's insane.
Let's see. Oh, I wonder if this works. It looks like it might not work. Oh yeah, it's not working.
Yay!
Hold on. I'll play this.
Hi, valuable viewers. Considering all the death that 2016
have we not watched this before?
Did we?
Yeah, we watched Life the Game.
Okay. Whoops. Let's do.
Yeah. Here's the game of life.
Do Alex Jones.
Don't even bother.
He's ambushing the CEO of Google.
Google is evil. 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 Google.
He's an intellectual.
He had to stop and clear his throat for a second.
Once again, how can anybody take this guy seriously? The sad thing is there are people that do.
Well, no, there are people that react to this sort of cat. Or I don't want to say catcalling, but it's like political catcalling, right? He's just over here saying short bursts of sentences, and some people can't think beyond those bursts, and they're like, yeah, Google is evil. He's yelling it. It's got to be true. I agree with Alex. Go, Alex. You're real.
A lot of Alex's
real
viewers they just watch it for entertainment, though.
Yeah,
because it's so weird and out there.
Did you see? There was like a clip compilation of that CEO of Google talking to Congress, I think it was, or Senate, and the Senate was asking or Congress or whatever, the government was asking the worst fucking questions about cybersecurity and search engines. It was so embarrassing that these people kind of run our country and have no idea about the technology that actually runs our country, that actually keeps people.
The AI,
but
the AI that the Bilderberg set up. That's what it is.
Social media drives people's opinions certain ways.
Yeah, 100%.
And these people that are in
Sounds
control
like
of
a
our
gay
government,
frog to me.
People that are in control of our government don't understand how it works, and it's working our government 10 years too late.
Didn't you see when really Giuliani thought that Twitter had somebody hack one of his comments because he had actually put a hyperlink in there accidentally, and somebody bought the domain of that hyperlink and put something like Trump sucks, and Giuliani, who's supposedly the cybersecurity expert of some sort, was claiming that his Twitter account was hacked and somebody actually had changed that to a hyperlink, not knowing how it works in Twitter.
Yeah,
that was epic.
The greatest, the greatest thing in the world right now is people's ignorance to tech. Because if you want, you can go get yourself a nice IT job at a company, get paid a whole bunch of money to just Google the answers to shit that fucks up in the office, and just don't tell anybody else because nobody else knows to just fucking Google things. These senators don't even fucking Google things. They're here with the fucking CEO of Google asking them stupid questions, and when he gives them direct answers, they're like, no, I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how it works.
Mm-hmm. They don't have a freaking clue.
They're all like 70 plus too, and that's that's what, like you said, they have people that do all the work for them. Like their underlings should be the ones that are asking these questions, not the senator, because they're the ones that are actively using this technology. Yeah. Senators don't know how to tweet or Facebook or any of that stuff. They don't. They're having people their PR publicists or whatever do it for them.
We need like a cyber task force to be the fourth arm of our government. We have the judicial, legislative.
No. Trump wants the space force.
Okay, let's give space and cyber force. Let's make it a 5-hand.
Actually, that's a branch of the military, I guess, that he was saying. Not
true. We need a cyber force that knows tech and can evaluate that shit on a
they probably have those
reasonable level.
clandestine type, but
you need that though, I think, because like your digital identity, I think, is becoming more and more of an important thing. Like you're doing more and more online. Almost everything that you do is online. Your banking, your social media, shopping, all of that stuff is done online now, and it won't be long before that gets into the scary realm. Like we had a guy come on to talk about the possibility of one day uploading your impulses how does he say that works, Steve? Your electrical impulses with your mind, you can upload that to a disc and
it's just
change
taking your
bodies.
neural imprint and making it into some kind of digital analog.
We covered a story about that. We covered a story about uploading like knowledge into people's brains too, you don't have to go to the university anymore. They can literally just upload what you need.
Similar to how they did in the Matrix, where they put all the information into Neo's head. It's not obviously on that level, but it's the same idea.
I think they can do something like that if they integrate biologics with actual like technology, right? If you have some kind of chip implementation and there's some kind of way that the neurons can react with the chip itself, and they have things like that now. So I mean, I think that's completely plausible. Sure.
The scary thing though is if you go back 10 years to when right before the first iPhone came out, if you were to say back then that you would one day have a phone that you could carry around that would play videos, connect you to people all around the world, you would be like, oh, that's not a possibility. Well, fast forward to today, we're throwing around being able to load your mind up to a disc and transplant it or be implanted with something that gives you knowledge. And we're not saying that same thing. That's how scary technology is advancing. Like it's not a that's way bizarre, that could never happen thing. It's how long before that happens.
I want some real science fiction here. I want to live in a world where if somebody tells a lie, we can fact check it immediately in real time. Let's make that happen. Google search that shit.
Well, you can get Google glasses and things of that nature.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
But people don't bother to fact check. That's what I've noticed. we have information at our fingertips that can go explain to people the facts, and yet most people don't ever bother to. I don't think.
Yeah.
They don't care.
You know who it's time for?
Who's it time for, Benjamin?
Hello everyone, my name's Stephen Dawson and I'm obsessed with Pretty Young because I love her naked body. If you're listening, Pretty, I love the way you do your modelling job, baby. Especially when you do this, when you touch your fucking nipples. You've got bigger tits than me.
What the hell did I just watch?
Oh man, that's it?
Cut off. Okay.
I don't know why that cut off.
So I think you guys got saved.
You got saved. We watch this guy's videos from time to time.
He's been affectionately referred to as Autism Powers.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Yeah.
And he pretty much just skeeves on these two girls from the UK.
Babe Station.
Babe Station Girls, which is a United Kingdom cam girl like television channel.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like if cam girls had their own TV station. And
Autism Powers.
Yeah.
You know what? And people are right. I did already play this video before. I'm sorry. I was trying to find a newer video, but his new Twitter account, he made that private. So
we got to dress up as hot girls and follow him.
What's his channel name? Like, how do you find this guy?
I don't think he has.
Dawson.
His name's Steven Dawson. I don't know if he has a channel. I know he has a Twitter. He has an old Twitter account out there.
Oh, that's where these videos are from. Twitter.
Some of them, yeah, and some are on YouTube. People are saying check the email. I'll have him on the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. His head is shaped like a Tic Tac.
Autism Powers.
He really does. He's like, yeah, baby, ding dong. It's so
ding a dong, baby. Yeah,
it's so weird,
so good.
And then he grabs his junk and just flexes his junk,
and he'll like pull out porn mags and like. I remember when he was wagging his tongue at the one that creeped you out. I put it in slow motion.
Nope, I felt like I was
his
being
tongue was
molested.
all like
It was
flapping
terrible.
around, all slow.
So bad.
Man, I hate we didn't get to see that.
Yeah, I'm crushed. I'll get over it.
Yeah, y'all dodged a bullet today.
Yeah, thank God for little favors. I've been scarred enough by watching some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know what? I didn't think we could top Gayle, but Gayle just got topped.
Oh, it gets man. You'll be wishing you talked to G-Man.
I see that.
Yeah.
I actually
Things like this make me miss
took
G-Man.
for granted. Please come
Yeah.
back, G-Man.
What is wrong with us?
I think we're about to wrap it up pretty soon, actually, and go into the post show.
Are we all stars now?
Yeah. So everyone who's a $10 plus patron or you're a member of this channel, you get to watch the post show with Billy and I after we're done with the normal show here. So check it out. We Billy and I usually do it for like an extra 45 minutes or so.
Yeah. You guys got anything you want to promote right now to the audience?
Steve?
Since you're going to promote Non Sequitur, I can promote my channel real quick. I actually have my own channel, Steve McRae, where we talk about philosophy, science, theology, and things of that nature. If somebody wants to come check it out, it's just Steve McRae on YouTube.
You know what? I think you should have on your channel Stephen Dawson and Gayle Cord Schuler as your next guests.
Don't think that I'm not sitting here.
Yeah,
trying to figure out how to
Kyle
make that
right now
happen.
is sending messages. I guarantee it.
Steve and I are from a channel called Non Sequitur. If you haven't ever heard of it, don't look it up. Don't subscribe. It'll save your health and blood pressure because we deal a lot with people like this and Gayle on a daily basis. We have them on and we have conversations with them and try to see if we can't change their mind about some of the things that they believe. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't go well at all. So it's a big dumpster fire most of the time. That's what we're known for.
Massive.
There were a few super chats and streamlabs that we didn't get to read, so I'm going to do those really quick too. Just waiting for it to load. I love this Stephen Dawson. He's like holding his belly. Hello, pretty.
Well, at least it wasn't on his nipples. That would have been.
Oh, he does that.
Yeah, he does that.
Listen, I believe that's what a Teletubby would look like if you shaved off all the fur.
Teletubby. It looks like he's about to have diarrhea.
He needs a belt too. Definitely needs a belt, and I think he needs to go a size up on his pants a little.
Or
bit.
at least button the flap that he's got.
Yeah, it's
like have some decency, Steven.
Someone said Blunt Goblin gave us $2 and said, "Always love to see new people blown away by G-Man." What do you mean blown away? What do you mean by that? They know who G-Man is, so
we fight with G-Man often.
Yeah,
we have quite the history with G-Man.
All right. God gave us $1. That's right, bitches. I exist. Keep up the good work, fuckers. Sorry that there it is. God. Mohiron? I don't know how to say it. $20. The guest below Billy looks like the Chad meme. Have you ever seen the Chad meme?
Mm-hmm. You're saying Kyle looks like a Chad?
That's what the super chat said, or the Streamlabs.
Low Billy looks
yeah,
like the Chad meme.
I totally believe that.
Total Chad.
Total Chad.
Chris Xavier, $5 Canadian. Wow, Billy Connolly.
Low Billy looks like the Chad meme.
We're getting caught in a Chad fucking.
Yeah,
time.
get it. Okay,
He really thinks you look like a Chad meme.
Billy Connolly retired. Just came to DP. Who's Billy Connolly?
Billy Connolly. That's my Jewish clone.
Oh, I see.
There's our new act, Steve. Chad and Connolly. Chad Connolly.
Blunt Goblin, $5. Would you consider having the Act Man on? And I mean, new depths of stupidity. I don't know who the Act Man is. I'll have to look, and then I'll consider it. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, and thanks to both of you guys for being on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Again.
Thank you. Good night.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.